We're live now, though.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sorry about the late start. All 7 of you. Well, actually, none of you are watching me right now live, right? And so it'll be a situation where they'll filter in. But people that are like watching this after the fact, which I know there's actually like a fair number, because whenever like if we have to make an episode, there's so like as I said this, there's a standing thing. Anybody that appears on an episode, and if they wish, they can request that the episode be taken down, just because whatever, they maybe shared something they don't want to share, and so we then take it down. And when I do that, I always hear from people in our Discord saying, "Hey, what happened?" So anyway, so what I was getting with this is the fact that
More than 10 people watch.
No, when we say we're live, right? There's nobody waiting on us, for us to go live. So it's one of those things where, and which I could change, right? I could do that thing where you schedule something live.
God forbid.
Yeah,
that means you'd have to show up on time. And...
Why would we? Oh no, you can do that. Excuse me, you can do that.
Oh, I can. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, you can do that, and then it can be late, and then so like the timer goes down to 0, and then it says we'll be starting soon or something like that. Something generic. That goes that. But anyway, so welcome to the weekly Alaboom. It is the 22nd of March in the year of our Lord 2023. We are not sponsored by NordVPN. We are still waiting to see if that can
starting to lose hope.
I'm starting to lose hope. After I was named an esteemed collaborator, and I offered a very fair offer to sponsor the weekly Alaboom, I have yet to hear back. I'm sure they're talking it over with their lawyers and whatever. So
I don't think they'd ever have to send to a lawyer.
I have a weird drink for you today. I have the Mountain Dew Kickstart Orange. It's got a weird, it's not like a true orange taste, and it's got very few calories from it. And it's been a long day. There was a lot of Kickstarter stuff that I had to work on today, and a lot of emails and a lot of stuff like that I had to respond to. So I'm kind of tired. So instead of having a one of my standard Dr. Pepper Zeros or Dr. Shasta or Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero Cherry, I just need a little more. This has got a little bit of sugar in it, so maybe Plus the grocery store next to me had these for sale for $1. So I kind of loaded up. No, it's called Mountain Dew Kickstart. Funny lady, spooky kid. So anyway, so let's see. Let's recap. So last week I told you guys about the fact that American Airlines drove over my trombone.
Oh yeah.
So this maybe I'll wait for Aldi so I can tell that story.
Aldi might not show up. He's got that.
Really?
He's got that convention this week. Remember?
Oh, the BGG Spring or something? Or
no, the pinball thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Did I have something? Did I have a grumpy? I had a grumpy. I had something that I had to deal with customer service. I'll say this, and I've said this before, and I'm going to reiterate this again. For a very niche service, drivethrurpg.com, they have the best. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there's some place that has even better customer service. But as far as a customer service situation, they are the absolute best. So if you order a book, they sent it off to usually Lightning Source, which is a book publisher, things that print on demand. And so they'll make a book. And so print on demand books aren't as good as saddle stitch books. They can have errors when they're made, because it's just not as good as it's not as nice as you maybe, and especially with hardcovers. The hardcovers are tough to do print on demand. I mean, I almost always request a hardcover. I mean, soft covers are easy, but I mean, anyway, the whole point is that I ordered some books, and one of them showed up, and the binding was bad. There was big chunks of it, big pages and pages that just felt like they were falling out. And so I contacted customer service and I said, hey, this stinks, this didn't, and then they always say send pictures. And so you send pictures. And I mean, I've never had them say anything but, we're sorry, we'll send you a new book. And they order a new book from the place that makes it and they have them send it out. So that happened. I bought some books. Like my wife for Christmas got me a nice gift certificate for a drive-through RPG. And I got some books and one of them was bad. And I let them know, and they said, "Yeah, we'll get you another one." I was like, "Cool." And that was like over a month ago, and I didn't even think about it. I was just like, "Oh, eventually it'll just show up." I didn't go in, didn't check my account, didn't do any of those things, right? But all of a sudden, I was like, "Wait a minute, that was like a month ago. I should have had that book, or at least should have gotten like shipping information or something for it, right?" Yeah. And so I didn't. And so I went and I looked, and I couldn't see an order from me or anything like that. And so I went in and I went in and I just sent him a customer service message like, hey, I had a customer service thing. This was wrong and whatever. I want another one. And you guys said you'd send me another one. And I don't have it. I don't have anything. And they were like, oh yeah, it looks like we forgot to order it. So sorry. We'll get that ordered for you right away. And here's a $10 credit for our store for our mistake. Yeah. We apologize. And I'm just like, I mean, I didn't need $10. I mean, I'll take it, but I didn't, I was just like, hey, order me this book, because I mean, I just like, and the thing is that like the book that I have, I mean, yeah, there's pages falling out of it, but I mean, it's completely readable, and it's just like, and the thing is too, they even say, if you like, when you submit a thing about the book, they'll even say, if you're okay with the book having a little bit of damage, would you be okay with us giving you a credit? And I usually do that. I usually say, just go ahead and give me a credit, because whatever, book's got a little bump or tear. But this one, like I said, pages are falling out. So I was just like, I want another book, and I'll give this to somebody else that likes RPGs and they can figure a way to glue the pages back in or something. And I'd rather have one. But yeah, that was kind of cool. Really good customer service at the old drive-through RPG.
Yeah. Hard to come by that these days.
Yeah, I agree.
There is something about somebody trying to get a hold of, I think it was Cool Stuff, and they couldn't. They sent them emails and it was taking days and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember, and this is like years and years and years and years ago. I mean, this is like 10, 11, 12 years ago or something, and I was on Board Game Geek posting whatever. And this is like probably right when I was back when I was like one of 5 people that were doing video reviews.
Yeah.
So, and somebody posted in a message that said something like, oh, like blah, 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 I really, and this is back when like Thought Hammer was still around and Boulder Games was still around. There's all those the ones that are long since gone. And somebody said something along the lines of, it's like, oh, Cool Stuff, they were like, I didn't get this, that, the other game or whatever. And I remember I just posted on BGG randomly. I was like, I just said I used to go to Cool Stuff all the time for my games. But I found myself just, for whatever reason, they just didn't seem to have the stuff I wanted, or they didn't seem to have, and so I've been putting more orders through Boards and Bits, or like Thought Hammer, or one of those. I've been just posting more things like that. And like a week, not even like a week, a few days later, now I know the guy's name is Jerry, the guy who owns Cool Stuff, and like I guess who owns like Quartermaster Logistics and stuff like that, who was business partners with my boss right now, Shane. Like just sent me an email and was like, hey, I'm sorry you haven't bought anything through my store recently. He's like, if you give me your email, I'll send you a gift card, and hopefully we can win you back as a customer. I was like, oh, okay, like whatever. And so I don't know if anybody remembers Thought Hammer. They were based out of Dallas. If Aldi was here, he'd remember Thought Hammer. But that was right around the same time as I was getting married. And this is now, well, maybe like 15 years ago now, coming on. Um, the my I Thought Hammer used to have a thing where like the Board Game Geek giveaways, they used to give away gift certificates for Thought Hammer, and it was just like, you'd enter into it, and I won. I think it was either a $50 or a $100 gift certificate. Thought Hammer. I mean, that was cool. That was like, and that's the only thing I've ever won. No. The other thing I've won, and I've talked about this before, I won the from Aries Games, their Sword and Sorcery. I won that contest, and I had done a video review for it in exchange for an all-in pledge, and the contest was for an all-in pledge as well.
Mhm.
And I remember I contacted them and I asked them about like, hey, so you guys, and I basically was like, can I get you to send one of these to my brother? And they said, well, no, since you won one, we're just going to give you that one. And I was like, yeah, but you told me you'd give me one for the video too. And they're like, well, we're not going to give you two. And I was like, well, you're not giving me two. You're going to give one to my brother, because I think he'd like to play it. And they're like, no, we're just not going to do that. And I was just like, you sons of bitches. I was just like, if I had had the wherewithal at that point, I probably would have like emailed Board Game Geek and just said, but they would have just said, yeah, we sent you the one for the contest. And it's like, it was like a handshake deal where like, hey, we'll send you this prototype and we'll do the video for you. You do the video for us, and then we'll hook you up later. And that only happened to me back when I was doing the Kickstarter work. That happened to me like 2 or 3 times. It happened to me for Eclipse, and it happened to me for that Sword and Sorcery, and it happened to me for I can't remember the name of the game now. And it was a cool game too. I think it was called like Outpost. No, it wasn't Outpost. God, I can't remember what it was. I remember, and I was like, hey, weren't you gonna send me one of these? And they were just like, it's like, oh, sorry, we sold all our copies. And I was just like, weren't you said you were gonna give me one. They're like, yeah, well, not gonna happen.
Sucker.
It's like, oh, okay,
Maybe next
well,
time.
yeah, I guess you suck. I'll say this. I remember when Boards and Bits had that. Boards and Bits was like one of the first places that did that hold the order thing.
Yeah.
Where like it's like, oh, and then like, and they never offered free shipping either. Like if you ordered, I shouldn't say that. So back when Mayfair did the price fixing, like you couldn't offer Mayfair games at more than 10% off.
Right.
They always have a thing where it's like, if you ordered a Mayfair game, they give you free shipping on your entire order, because like you were paying, that was like to get you to buy those or whatever. Yeah. And then but anyway, I remember like you get half price shipping if you bought over $125 from Boards and Bits, but they would always charge you some shipping. But the guy who ran that place, this guy was one of the cool. He was just a super nice guy, and but I remember like the whole. I would love to have a conversation with him, because if you go back to where Boards and Bits got shut down, or when they basically went out of business, it was like a huge big deal between, like, I mean, I don't know what the true story is, but like the owner got screwed over because they brought in a business partner, and then that business partner screwed them over somehow. I don't know what the whole. I'd love to meet him. Joel Eddy knows him, and he's talked to him, and he said, yeah, I've gotten the whole story, and it's not really mine to share. So I was just like, so I got to figure that out. I want to know what that is. It's a moment of time, in the board game world kind of thing. But anyway, but I remember they had a thing too, where it's like you could order a game, and for 50 cents, they cost you 50 cents. When you put order, you could say, combine my order. And they would sit there and they'd combine the order and combine the order and combine the order. and I remember I would sit there and I would uh I would sit there and keep adding stuff and adding stuff and adding stuff and adding stuff for the idea that I would finally find a Mayfair game that I wanted to buy that would give me free shipping. But I remember eventually there were a few times when I would contact them and I'd say, okay, please send me my stuff. Like you'd have to call them on the phone. The best way was to call them on the phone. I think the guy's name was Tom Powers, I believe what his name is. And then you would say, yeah, just go ahead and release that stuff. And they're like, okay. I remember there were a few times when like I would just have like 2 or 3 giant boxes show up from Boards and Bits. But yeah, I mean, it was just crazy stuff. I mean, that was back when I bought games.
Who does that?
Spooky Kid sent me a message asking on the Discord, asking, "Hey, are we actually having a show?" Yeah, we are. It's happening right now.
You know, time's not on Lance's side.
No. I get it. So anyway, well, I mean, did you ever buy your games? Like, did you just go local or did you go online?
No, a lot of it depended on how I was buying. If I were picking up a bunch of them, I'd go online. If it were like 1 or 2, I'd go local. But I did use Miniature Market and Cool Stuff, and that one that was up in PA. Oh, what the hell was the name of that? They went out of business a while ago, though. It was a family-run thing up there.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the company. I used I don't remember if Boards and Bits was around or they were dying off when I came in. You know, when I started buying heavily like that. But mainly I think Miniature Market, Cool Stuff, and Fun Again once in a while. There was another company, I'm trying to remember the name of it, once or twice.
Yeah, trying to remember. Yeah, I mean, it was Boulder Games was like the total diamond in the rough kind of board game place. I mean, it was like it was unlike any other. It was like the guy like would write a blog, and then like certain words within the blog would be links for the actual games to purchase. It was just weird. It would just be like, played a few games of Planet Steam recently with some friends, and Planet Steam would be like, had a lot of fun playing that economic one, you know, and it would be like, oh, and like click on that, and it would take you to the price and stuff. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it was like, and you got the impression the guy was a total hippie dude, because he'd be like, you know, it's like, sorry, haven't been able to ship anything recently. Been playing a lot of frisbee golf and paintball with my buddies. You know, I'm back in the office now and I'm starting to ship things out. And he was the one too where like he was like, supposedly I'm not allowed to discount these Mayfair games more than 10%, but I think that's garbage. So I'm selling them at 25%. And if they want to come after me, they can. You know? Good old Boulder Games. I don't know.
It's amazing how they come and go.
And well, I mean, it was amazing how many there were. There were so many for a while there, and I mean now, I mean, and the thing is, there's still a lot of them out there now, but they're like it's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like everybody knows who Miniature Market is. Everybody knows who Cool Stuff is. Fun Again's going out of business, or at least their online presence is going out of business. I mean, I know there's like Atomic Empire is one, I've never ordered anything from them, but I've known a few people have totally said that Atomic Empire is a pretty good place to buy games from.
Never.
And they have like free shipping at like $75, and I think they're on the East Coast somewhere.
Okay.
I remember I've gone there and like looked at stuff, like I was like things I wanted to buy, and then like I've almost put together an order, and then I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. So, did you cut your hair there, Chief?
That's the same.
Oh, okay, just look different angle maybe.
Yeah, I'm at the building. Like I guess I'm more up. Actually, let me
It's brighter.
move some stuff around.
No, you're fine. We were talking old school board game online stores. And I was talking about like the ones that are gone, like Boulder Games, Thought Hammer, Boards and Bits.
Time well spent.
Time well spent. There you go. That's another one.
What else?
And oh my, why can't I think of the one? Thor. The guy I ran it was Thor. And then it was
Yeah,
sold to
Thor and Sarah.
what was that called? Game.
Time well spent. Oh no, not time well spent.
No, it wasn't Time Well Spent. Like,
Uh,
and I'm so proud of it because I have a mug. I have a mug from them.
oh, yes, Game Surplus.
Game Surplus.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, I love
the mug
Game,
too.
Game Surplus was.
Yeah, the mugs are pretty good.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I remember I was like sitting there and I was like, I remember like when Thor left, he was like he sent me an email and he said, hey, just so you know, the next order you put through, I told the new owners that you had to send me with this mug is set aside for you. And I was like,
Yeah, the mugs were good. The mug, I still have the mug. It's a good mug.
I still have it too. I have no idea where it is. I mean, I think I had change in it or something. I mean, it's packed away right now because it was on one of my shelves of whatever, you know.
I know some more stores.
So I'm trying to remember. There was one that had Spiel in the name. There was also wasn't it Gateway Games or something like that? I remember that was. And that had a really weird like I was telling him, I was just telling Barry about the fact like Boulder Games, it was just like he wrote a blog talking about games, and then you just would have links to like the things as he was writing the blog. I remember but I don't
Did you
know.
ever order from Adam Spielt?
Adam Spiel?
Adam Spielt with a T.
No.
That was a
No.
German game store. That's where I got all my games back when I first started.
I remember when I ordered a lot of my games through Amazon B.
Oh yeah,
Like, yeah, and it was like and it was like $5 to ship something from Germany, and they'd like they'd air ship it sometimes. It would just be there. I remember I would get a lot of my stuff from Amazon B.
Did you ever order from Troll and Toad? Is Troll and Toad still around?
Troll and Toad is still around. I think they're mostly like their biggest thing is they're buy and sell Magic. I mean, I'm just looking at their all categories game. I don't even think they sell board games anymore, and I think they got out of it. Yeah, it's just like game supplies, D&D miniatures, and collectible card games, Hero Clicks.
Is there a place called War Chest? No, maybe not.
No. The Troll and Toad, I remember I really liked their customer service too when I remember the whole fiasco with the Mayday games the Mayday games why can't I talk? Crokinole boards.
Oh,
And that big kerfuffle where they were
I remember
basically
that.
yeah, so
got a couple, didn't you, Scott?
so
No, I never bought those.
Oh, okay.
so
I had a friend who just bought one.
my
They're still selling them.
my Secret Santa that year on thing bought me a crokinole board. That and they bought it through Troll and Toad. It was like whatever, $140 or $150. And I showed up and the thing was busted. And then I remember the Mayday game is just they wouldn't refund me for it. I remember, and I was like, and they were like, I mean, it was just weird. Like they were like, oh well, since you got it through another company and didn't get through us, we're not going to take care of you. Even though they had all these posts saying, if you have a problem with your board, just contact us and we'll take care of you, kind of thing. And then they were like, well, we need to see your receipt. And I was like, well, this is weird because I got it as a gift through Secret Santa. I don't have a receipt. And I remember my Secret Santa person actually then contacted me. He saw that I posted the thing about it. And he sent me the receipt. And then I presented them with the receipt. And they're like, well, we're still not going to pay you. We're still not going to give you the credit for it. I was like, well, can you? And I was like, well, can you? I said, this is garbage. And then I remember I was like, you know what? Heck with this. I'm just going to call Troll and Toad and see what they can do for me. And I remember I got a hold of their customer service, talked to a person. I was like, so here's the story. Gave him the whole rigmarole. And the guy's like, well, that sounds like garbage. And I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, it's like, can you take a picture of the receipt and send it to me? I was like, yeah, sure. And I like the digital receipt or whatever, the guy, and I sent it to him. He was just like, and then he called me back and he's like, all right, are you cool with just getting the $147 as Troll and Toad store credit? And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And he's like, cool, there you go, boom, done. And I was like, it was like, yeah, just did the right thing. They were just like, yeah, that's a garbage story, and I was like, do you want this crokinole board back? They're like, no, just throw it away,
Did you guys ever order from Board Game Bliss?
I did order from Board Game Bliss.
That's
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah,
think so.
and I will say this: if anybody out there is a board game publisher or ever thinks about wanting to fulfill, Bosco and the guy who runs Board Game Bliss, man, I would never use anybody but them to handle your Canadian fulfillment. They are the best. They have competitive pricing and they're cool. And but here's the awesome thing is
because they don't. Okay.
They have a U.S. warehouse, so you ship your stuff to their U.S. warehouse, and once every 2 weeks they drive a truck over,
drive it across the border,
So they handle all of that. They handle all that custom stuff and everything like that. They have it down pat. They know exactly what to do. And they are quick and they are efficient and they answer emails like the same day. Usually if I send them an email at like noon, I'll have an answer to a question by 1. And they're just like, yeah, we can take care of that for you. How do I handle that? So if you are a publisher or you think about being a publisher and you have to fulfill games to Canada, Board Game Bliss, baby. They are top notch.
Top shelf.
Top shelf. Wasn't that a thing? Top shelf games? Wasn't that a thing?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Top shelf games, there has to be.
Yeah, Boards and Bits was my jam though. That was my jam. You
could always order stuff that was not really in the States yet. They sort of got things early, and then you never paid tax, and the shipping was really cheap.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, they never had free shipping. Like I was saying, they never had free shipping. But,
right, but it was pretty cheap shipping. It was not expensive.
And if it was over 100 or 125 bucks, they would cut the shipping in half. I remember that. Yeah, Tom Powers. I just went. I'm friends with him on Facebook. Tom Powers ran Board Game Bits. And he was
Board Game what? Bits?
No, Boards and Bits. Sorry,
Boards and Bits.
Bits and boards.
Yeah, and he was a good egg. He is a good egg. He's not dead. So
What was that one that had a YouTube channel for a while with the women?
Starlight Citadel.
Starlight Citadel.
Yeah.
Starlight Citadel,
Anybody
yeah.
order for them? I never did. I think
Never did.
they up in
They're in
Canada.
BC.
They were
Yeah, they were up in Canada.
I watch her YouTube channel quite a lot.
Yeah, they stopped like
Too
what,
professional for me.
years ago.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they were fine, but I just felt like it was stilted.
Uh-huh.
almost
that's
stilted.
that's just a minor complaint. They were great,
Yeah.
but there was just something missing. I'm not sure what.
I got something I want to grouse about if I could just for
Here
a
we
moment.
go.
Huh?
I shot a
So-
grouse once. It looked at me
so-
wrong.
So I'm not going to mention any names, but there's a Facebook group where it was specifically set up as basically a portal for where publishers and reviewers can be like, hey, I'm looking for somebody to do a how to play for this particular game, or I'm looking for somebody to review some new stuff that came out, and it makes connections with it. And so a publisher recently posted, he was like, so I said, hey, I've got these games. I've got these games are like, they've come out. I'm looking for people to review them. Who's interested, that kind of thing. And if you're interested, please send me an email. And then he posted, he was like, so I got responses from, whatever, a dozen people. And I'm speaking as a reviewer or as a reviewer when I was, like, that is the the Finding Nemo seagull. Mine. The moment you say, I have 6 copies of this game that I'm willing to send for free to come in, mine. So, but they had several, he said he had several people reach out and they're like, hey, yeah, we'll review it. And they're like, cool, I'll send that to you. And they're like, okay, let's talk compensation. And then he was like, well, I'm sending you a game, I'm just asking you to review it. And like, well, no, we don't review anything unless you have to pay us. And so he said, so he's like, this is, so he posted it, like, who runs this show? Like, because there's people in here that are asking to be paid to do video work. And he said, I'm fine with paying, somebody how to play, or, just,
Yeah.
but it's a review. I'm
But,
sending
yeah,
you a
reviews
game.
No
Yeah.
pay. No
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah, no pay, right?
No pay
it's
for
just
you.
like, and and whatever. I mean, we could, that's a long discussion. We can have that long
Yeah, sure.
discussion if we want to. But then I was just like, so I reached out to him because I'm like, I'd like to know who these people are, because I send out review copies. I'm going to basically say I'm not going to bother with these people because I'm not going to send those things to those people.
Oh, this was recently?
This is very recently. And then he was like, oh, it's like, I just, I don't feel right in sharing it. And I was like, why? I mean, unless you're lying, which I don't believe you're lying, because I know the gentleman and he would never lie about something like that. But I'm also like I feel like, Forrest, name and shame. Like, the only way these people are going to be like, unless you call somebody out for that, or even if you don't want to do it publicly, even if you don't want to say it publicly, you spread the word within the board game circles, and you just say, hey, just so you know, these channels are saying X, Y, and Z. Maybe you want to avoid those in the future. I mean, that's just, I don't know. I get it. It's a weird situation where, like, I guess I think the only time anybody wants to name and shame is when they feel they are, one, their actions are beyond reproach, and two, that, like, they are like 100% certain that there's, like, bullshit going on, because they don't want to be the one that sends the flag up the pole, and then somebody was like, hey, you're actually wrong here, because they don't want to. I don't know. I just, it bugs me when somebody wants to come in. I've never understood vague posting stuff about, like,
What are you supposed to do? Are you just supposed to say, yeah, that sucks? Or, like, like, how can you, what's the
I don't
point?
know, man. If there's bad actors in a situation, I guess I just feel like bad actors won't ever, like I said, if you want to post it publicly, fine, but then tell other publishers, like, hey, these channels suck because they want to, whatever, right? I mean, you have to, because if you have people that are just doing crummy things, you have to do something to, prevent the crummy things from happening. And part of that is, letting people know about the crummy things that they do. I don't know. It bothers me. And maybe I'm just getting old, but I have one of those things where it's just like, oh, these people suck. It's like, who are they? Well, I don't feel like I should share.
Yeah.
Well, well, thanks though. All right, okay, yeah.
I'm sorry they suck. So
Yeah.
what are we gonna do?
Just all right. Whatever. Oh,
Did you guys see?
Sorry,
about
I'm actually gonna talk about a board game real quick. I did actually do a video. You can go on my YouTube channel. I actually did a real video for a real game because Sean Brown, a friend of mine, has a little Kickstarter for Pocket Rails, and I don't do videos very often, and I don't take money anymore for this stuff. I just do it because people ask me to, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it for you, that kind of thing. And Pocket Rails is a game that was like, for a game that's just a deck of cards, it had actually like meaningful meat, and it was tough. It was like, basically, how do I describe this? Like, each card has, so it's technically like you're like a rail baron, but it could have been anything. It could have been you're buying and selling wine, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Your UFOs collecting asteroids. It doesn't matter. But so the thing is that each card has a commodity on it, a company on it, and a city on it. There's only 3 cities, and there are, I believe it was 4 or 5 companies, and there are like 4 like this. There's the same number of companies that there are commodities, and like commodities are cotton, cattle, coal, steel, and lumber. At the beginning of the game, you get a card. You get one of the cards, because the whole thing is one deck of cards. You get a random deck of cards. You get one card off the top. The card that is your insider trading card. The commodity that's on it at the end of the game is going to be worth double points for you. The company that's on it is going to be worth negative points for you. You draft cards. When you get your hand of cards, you draft a card, you take a card, you put it face down, you take another card, you put it in the middle of the board, face down. Everybody reveals the cards at the same time. You get a rail yard in the middle that's going to determine the end game scoring, and then you have your personal portfolio, which is the cards in front of you. There's ways for you, I'm not going to go too deep, but there's basically ways that you can sabotage your portfolio to get rid of cards that you don't want, meaning like cards that aren't going to be worth anything at the end of the game. But you're asking, why would you take those cards in the first place? Well, one, players can basically hand you cards that you're going to have to pick one at the when you're, because you're drafting. Or 2, those cards are actually worth something at the end of round 2. You just need to figure out a way to get rid of them before the end of round 3. Also, you can try to sabotage the rail yard to basically make it so the stuff you're investing in is stockpiled heavy, while other stuff is stockpiled low. But the commodity in the middle, the commodity that has the most in the middle at the end of the game, scores nothing. You want to be the second highest commodity. So you're constantly watching everything in the middle. You're watching what other people are doing. You're trying to figure out what everybody else is planning on doing as well, like what they're bidding on. So you can kind of try to figure out what other people are doing, and then also trying to protect and trying to hide what you're doing as well. It is super tough. It is like, you feel like but it is so much fun.
What's the game called?
It's called Pocket Rails, and I'm so annoyed with Sean because he hasn't even bothered putting it on Board Game Geek. I was like, hey, I was going to post this on to your Board Game Geek. He's like, yeah, I need to get that page up. I was like, dude, you've published like 40 games.
That's not on there right now. I was about to say, I can't find it.
Like,
I'll be right back.
Like, why isn't your game on freaking BGG? I mean, it's like, it's free fucking advertising. Just put it on there. I submitted a game today or 2 days ago, and like, I think like it just got okayed. I mean, it takes literally like 10 minutes to submit a game to BGG and get it taken care of. And I just that drives me nuts. I mean, yeah, it's driving me nuts. But yeah. Hello, Matthew.
Hi.
Hello, Matthew. How you doing this week?
I'm okay. I'm hopefully gonna get my guitar back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Did you figure out what's wrong with it? Did they find out what's wrong with it yet?
I brought it in. So I brought it into the luthier,
Yeah.
and he opens it up and he puts it out on the counter. He's like, right away, he says, "Well, it's not horrible." Like,
That's never a good sign.
thanks. So he's like looking at it and like, yeah, okay, well, it's not in great shape, but it's not horrible. I mean, like, I literally haven't, like, I don't gig with it, I don't do anything strenuous
Yeah.
with it, but like, I haven't. Anyways, so
It's just atmosphere.
pretty much, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know. And he asked me, he's like, "What kind of strings do you want on this?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just put strings on it." He's like, "Well," he
They're
basically
coming off.
shamed me by saying, "Well, I mean, it wasn't a great job with the strings, so you know, the stringing wasn't a great job, so it's not going to stay in tune." I'm like, "Okay, sorry." And then so they're gonna plec the guitar, which is this CNC machine.
How do they
$330
for the whole fretboard or per fret?
Well, what they do is this machine, basically you strap it in and you put it in, and it has this arm that touches every fret for every string, and then it gives you a readout, and it shows you the mapping of your fret, the actual fretboard, the frets, the top of the frets, how high they are, and then where your string is. And then they also show you where your
valleys
string.
and okay, cool.
Yeah, and you can explode it so that it really exaggerates the vertical axis, so it actually makes it obvious what the things are.
Bow, yeah.
And it's really cool. You should watch a video. There's tons of videos on plucking on YouTube. Anyways, so
Well, I'm hoping this is a brand new guitar. I'm hoping I don't need that.
no, but as a woodworker, Garrett, you'd like it a lot.
I probably would, yeah.
So what they can do basically is they, I mean, if it's that, so this machine, then once it does the readout, you say, okay, well, this is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. You program it, you put it back in, you strap it in this time, and you take the strings and you loosen them or take them off. In this case, and I think he's going to take them off.
Right.
And then it mills your frets down
to the specs, yeah.
To the specs.
Huh.
Which is cool. There's like, I said to him, I said, wow, I said I was surprised to see that you had a plec machine, because they're like $300,000. He said, yeah. I said, how many of them are in the area? He's like, one. It's right there.
Yeah.
And apparently he also goes around and teaches people how to use it and how he also repairs them. So I'm like,
okay.
oh, I guess I brought it to the right place.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to get it back and to start playing more. I was playing my acoustic at the office today for a bit, but
so are they going to shave you said you had spurs, are they going to shave them down, or because it's winter?
The fret sprouting?
Yeah.
He's like, I thought I mentioned that. He's like, well, yeah, it's winter.
That's what I was going to say, because usually people don't realize it's drier in the winter than it is during
so the wood shrinks during the winter.
Yeah.
And during the summer, it'll pop back out again.
That's why I was worried about that thing I made for Scott, because I made it during the winter, and then I'm sending it to Dallas and all that humidity. Yeah.
It's not the heat, it's just the humidity. It's not the heat, it's the stupidity. But yeah, so I'm anxious to get that back. A little more expensive than I wanted it to be, but whatever.
It's cheaper than the guitar, I'm assuming. A new one.
The guitar was about 2,000.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably about 1,500 or so. Decent one today.
You see, Scott, the decks came in today.
Oh, did they?
I think you liked it. You like my
Did you
post?
send me a message?
No, not the new decks, the promo ones.
Oh, the promo ones.
Yeah.
I did not. Did you make a post?
Yeah, I did. I think you liked it too, actually.
Oh, I didn't realize that was that. Sorry, I thought it was something else.
Yeah. Where is it? Here it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
So, this is the tuck box version. The version on BGG is going to be so much nicer than this.
I'm gonna amp it up.
More cards.
Have we told these guys yet? I don't know if we've told these guys.
No, I don't think so. So these are, I've been doing some UX posts, and we're doing a deck of 52 of these UX laws,
Are
and
they double-sided?
they are. So basically, it's just a flashcard on the other side.
Okay.
So it's like, not a lot of information. But some of the blue ones, like some of the actual technical ones are double-sided fully. But so these are basically all the different laws and principles of user experience design, and then how it applies to board game design. So, and they're so soft, dude. They're like matte laminated. They're beautiful.
I never see somebody rub cards against their face like
There's
that.
one of my favorite commercials. It was a Cannes Lions winner from several years ago. Cannes Lions is the Cannes Film Festival for television commercials, and advertising. And one of my favorite ones. Remember Monster.com?
Yeah.
So there's this thing where there's this guy in his cubicle, and the mail cart, the guy with pushing the mail cart comes around, and he drops off this thing at the guy's desk, and they're business cards. And he takes his, and they're his new cards. So this guy just started his job, right? He takes him, he's looking at him, he's like this. It's like the funniest. It was just hilarious. Just, I don't know. I'm not doing it justice probably, but it's fucking hilarious.
Cool.
Anyways.
Cool.
Hey, I have a question.
Okay, cool. What's
Did you
the
guys use dpreview.com? Ever?
What is that?
DP Review?
No, I know what you're talking about.
I'm going to say no because
It's a website.
It
About photography. It's about cameras, digital cameras.
Oh,
Digital
yeah, probably. I think I did.
EP review. Amazon has bought them out in 2007, I think was the year. I think. Not 100% sure. They're shutting them down completely. It's gone
Why?
in like a month. It's gone. No, I assume because they don't want to pay for it anymore. It doesn't make enough money to keep it going. But I'm like, how do you shut a website down that was around for 25 years? There's 25 years of knowledge there.
just stop paying the bill, Scott.
Gone. Zip. Like,
Take
what?
off the server. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, we've been at like the beginning of the internet, so it doesn't surprise me we're going to see stuff dying off. That's been around forever to us. Yeah.
You know what's cool at Costco? If you spend, there's a certain level, they give you the TV is over $1,000. They give you the Allstate protection plan for your TV for 5 years for free. They're like, yeah, it's pretty sweet. I like Costco.
Are a lot of TVs over $1,000 anymore?
Not many.
Well, depends on the TV.
Yeah.
We got an OLED TV, so that's like the ones that don't have the backlighted pixels and everything like that. So you get like you just read up about OLED TVs, OLED.
I know what OLED is. So
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, they're not cheap.
remember when plasmas came out? It was like $25,000 for a plasma.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. I mean, so it's kind of funny. The last TV we had in this basement, when we moved into this house, we bought a 50-inch plasma TV at Sam's Club. And that's over there right now on the ground. And a
That's
buddy
like
of
the
mine's,
Costco of Walmart, right?
like Sam's Club is, the Costco. Walmart. Yeah. We had a Sam's before we had a Walmart. Anyway, so yeah, we when my wife and I moved into the house, we had a little bit of extra money, and so we splurged and got a plasma TV, and we watched almost everything on that. And then but it's been down here on the wall forever, and I finally took it down, and I got a buddy of mine's gonna come over and take it off my hands tomorrow. It's going to his house. He's gonna put it
Plasma?
up. Yeah, an old 50-inch plasma TV.
So-
freaking thing weighs 1 billion pounds.
Did we already move on the website thing, or did we?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I was just wondering if we were like still talking about that. I wasn't sure. It's like,
Well, no, I mean that's fine. I mean, I really don't have much to say. I mean, when I was looking
I
at
use that all the time.
when I was looking for cameras and stuff like that, I just would go to like things like Tom's Hardware and stuff like that because they would do stuff
Right.
on cameras.
Mm.
Yeah.
Tom's Hardware is still
Interesting.
around. Tom's Hardware
Is it?
rocks.
But yeah, but that's more than photos, right?
Mhm.
And they were also not acquired by Amazon.
So that's your main
Oh.
thing. Amazon acquired them, and now they're dead.
Yeah, I was gonna look up when they got required, but I can't. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
But
They
I'm just
absorbed
I'm
them.
like, wow, over.
It doesn't. No, like I
Closing
said.
on April 10th, which is not even. What is that? A month away? Yeah, a month away.
Yeah.
Not even.
Not even. After 25 years of operation, DP review will be closing.
Oh shit.
in the
Stuart's
future.
birthday.
The difficult part is part of the annual operating plan review, which I guess they linked to Amazon.
I wonder how many.
I mean, it's that they had thousands.
Oh
of-
no, I've never gone to this site. I used to go to the Nikon site.
Okay.
What's his name? There's a dude.
I don't know. That's half the world there, Matt.
Right.
Dude.
Hold on.
No, it's kind of
Ben
surprising.
Rockwell.
Hmm.
He's like a Nikon, super awesome Nikon guy.
I know that name,
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
but just like weird. They only had 11 employees,
Oh really?
and I mean, they were probably on Amazon. Like, I probably like that's kind of free, right?
They're now pickers.
Yeah.
Pickers in the store.
Not even that. They got robots for that now. Matt.
Completely?
It's just about.
Close. Pretty close.
Yeah, they're pretty close.
One of the kids that works front desk at the front counter at the bake shop is a Amazon employee here.
But maybe electronic review sites are just not necessary anymore. Like, especially cameras, because like,
Like CNET.
does anybody buy a camera anymore? Do you just use your phone?
I just use my phone. I have a D40 that I haven't touched in years.
So I was
It's just
so
as
when
good.
I had
Not
to
as good, but it's good. It's good.
the camera I still use to do my videos is a Panasonic, and I've got a
Well,
there's something
remember a GH5.
There's like
Yeah,
one of those
Pan-
ones that you kind of have like this with the pop in video cassette.
no
That you
Panasonic-
remember that.
I have a- I-
The
I have a
battery
I have a
packs that weighed a
GH
ton.
I have a GH5. I have a GH5, and it's weird. It's I'm getting some weird feedback on the microphone now, and I'm sure I did a setting on it that I have no clue what it is. I
Oh, you
fussed
record the
with it.
audio?
You
through
use
this?
the camera audio?
Well, no, I have a microphone that goes
Attaches
into-
to it.
Oh,
attaches
okay.
to it, yeah. But there's
Oh, the
something that
microphone,
goes
okay.
on that like I'm getting a bad feedback loop on it, and I even like weirdly, now this is weird, like I was trying to fix it and I was just doing little quick test things, and I was in a completely silent room all by myself, and I was just sitting there and I was like recording and like snapping my fingers and like trying to adjust the volume things and stuff like that. And then I went and I watched the video, and like it picked up like my it was a completely silent
Your
room. There's
thoughts?
no it
Ghosts.
picked up like a TV channel or something. Like it was like playing, which means
fun.
that like the
Is it
microphone
wireless?
like it has to, the wireless must have hooked on or something like
Oh.
that. I was
That's common.
yeah, I mean but I mean it was weird. Nothing was playing anywhere near it or anything like that. So I don't know. I think I just need
Those
to-
radio waves or
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think what I need to do is just there should be something in there. Like, and I've said this, if there's a button on your thing that says reset to manufacturer defaults, you probably have too many options on your thing, right? You know, because you've gotten to a point where you have no idea where you've gone and you can't get it back to where you want it to be. So just shut her down.
Yep.
And like back in the good old days when like when your computer started running slow or something weird happened and you were smart enough to partition your drive or have another drive, so like, and you would just say
Clean it
format
up.
C, tell your computer to format C and just reinstall the operating system. We're gonna just start this sucker over.
I do that to Windows all the time. Here's a question. Do you guys know this game?
Casting shadows.
You know what it is?
game?
This board game?
Nope.
Uh,
I mean, I'm like, I remember backing it, and I looked. I'm like, oh, well, tell me what. Remind me what the game is.
Holy
Like,
crap! There's
play
no
it.
back on it.
I'm like, what the fuck?
so
Is it
so
Kickstarter
You know what
Can
this is?
And I bet
I-
none of the components look like that.
Can I-
No,
can
in fact,
I-
the components. Hold on.
Is
The
it
blo-
Kickstarter only, or is it for sale? retail?
Maybe it was Kickstarter. I don't know. It's Kickstarter.
Yeah, some people do that.
But I'm
shit.
like, but why?
It literally costs you nothing to put something on
Exactly.
the back.
You could have.
No, it costs you your
printed at
graphic
UPC.
designer.
So here's what's in this box, by the way. And I don't know why,
That's-
because I'm like, okay, that's 10 like, what is this? 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 mats.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I mean, they
9,
look
10,
nice,
11,
but I have no
12.
idea what to do with them.
I
Like, where's the game? I
don't know.
mean, it might already be punched apart. Like it's, oh, wait, you know what? There's another box here. Wait, there's another. I got an expansion.
Oh, just got
It's
expansion.
unstable, or it's an unstable unicorns game. It's casting shadows, but it doesn't say what the game is. Like it just says this is a 2-player. This is add 2 to the game, and you can play with 6 players. With this expansion, you can freeze and stun your enemies.
Ooh.
Like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, this must be the game. I must have looked at the wrong box. There. Oh wait, that has no. Wait, nope, no description about the game on here at all. Nothing. Okay, I don't even know what it is. No idea. It has some great minis though.
It's always a plus. Pretty plastic.
Yeah, the minis are fantastic. Except I can't find them.
Can you find a
Right.
rule book?
No,
No.
no idea what it is.
If only there was a site.
I'm just trying to find out. I'm sure it's a battle game, but I just don't know. Because it's, it's also, here's some of the minis, which you can't quite see.
Got a bit of glare. Yeah.
It's a reflection. Ugh. Anyway, neat, huh?
Yeah.
Kickstarter. In my memory, I mean, I could go look it up, but I'm not gonna look it up.
I forget to do that
So-
by the end of this show.
And I hate to sit here and bag on my old company that I used to work at, because that
You work at Board Game Geek? We're gonna bag on Scott's company.
Board Game Geek.
The go look at the back. So there are so many things that happened when I was like, why did you make that decision? And I'd be wondering why wouldn't you? Because
Yeah.
I would say there's probably like 90 to 95% of anything that Shane does, he sends it to me and says, hey, take a look at this and tell me what you think.
Look it over.
And just even if it's just like, take a quick look at this and make sure it doesn't look stupid. Tell me
Yeah.
what you think about it. And it isn't like, oh, you need to edit this or you need to do this or anything. Just take a look at this. Go look at the back of the box of Bomb Squad, which is
I can find it.
a really, really good game. I mean, it is a basically each person has to work together to control the robot to go into the building to disconnect the bomb, and you have to work together because some people are blind and some people, and it is a fun game. And the front cover, yeah, hey, it looks cool. Front cover looks cool. It's like, it's got stuff and it's got things going on, and but then you look at and you're like, oh, okay, it looks like it's a Bomb Squad. And you gotta it has it looks like there's a little robot and he's fussing with a stick of dynamite and what have you. But then you look at the back of the box and it tells you absolutely nothing about the game. It doesn't show you a picture of the components. It doesn't show you. And I remember we published that and it came out. And I remember I was sitting there and it's like, why? Who thought this back was okay? I tried to see if there's. Oh yeah, here. Oh, here's the back of the box. I found it on the BGG because they have everything.
BJJ.
Yeah. Hang on, hold on. So yeah, here I'll share this. I'll share my screen. Share screen. There you go. So yeah, here I'll zoom in. But yeah, it's like yeah, okay. There's a join the bomb squad, help program a robot to navigate a building, rescue hostages and defuse bombs in real time. You cannot see your hand of command cards, so you have to help your partner sort which cards to play, the game in hand, or and it's every 10 minutes a bomb will go off unless you defuse it first. Rescue make hostages again, defuse the bomb, save the day. So it was like Hanabi with a point, like with a theme, like you think. But it was super cool and it was super fun. And it was like,
I remember it.
oh,
Yeah.
people would be like, I have no idea what this game is. Yeah, neither do I, because you can't tell what it is. So, I remember being annoyed. I'd be like, why didn't nobody?
Maybe the UX of tabletop would have helped you.
Well,
Maybe.
and that's just, and I would, and then that'd be one of those things where I'd say, really, no, nobody thought to say this looks dumb. Why? What? I remember just being stupid.
Yeah.
But nobody.
Yeah, it never made sense to me why there wasn't a picture of the game on the back of a board game box. Or why most games, if a game doesn't come with a play rate, even if it's a small thing on the back of the rule book or something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There are lots of ways that things can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Do we play initials? Because I gotta go soon.
Yeah, Scotty's on the clock. He's in the business.
Got
In
the light is
business.
reflecting through your glasses, make it look like you have a nose ring.
Oh, like here, from here for here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. It kind of does.
well, fine, we can play initials. Evan said he was going to show up, so I was kind of just chilling and hoping he'd show up. Oh,
Evan
hey,
and I are going to be roommates again.
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay, cool. I'll pencil you in for working the booth as well. I've got him all 3 days from noon to 6.
Which
so
event
I'll
are
have
you talking about?
Are you talking about Origins or?
Uh-huh.
What? Yeah. So I told Evan I got him penciled in to be at the booth all
Get a
3
shift.
days. I'll
Doing some shifts.
If you sell my decks, I'll do it there at the booth.
your decks. What decks?
These things.
Cards he just showed you.
The decks we just talked about.
Oh, I mean, you honestly want us to sell your stuff there?
People are already saying they want to pick them up, and I'm not selling these particular decks because they're promotional ones, but the ones we get from the ones with the whiz bang fancy ones, yeah, for sure.
I mean, if it's something where my boss would get a taste, not like, I mean, like, not, you wouldn't be like, yeah, we got to give us 70% or whatever. But I mean, like,
He wants a
how
point.
much are you selling them for?
Don't do it. You're in for life.
$50.
What are you selling a deck for?
Between, I'm not sure. We're not quite sure yet.
Like something like $50. Ballpark.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be something where it's like, yeah, I mean, like if it'd be something where like it's not impossible is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like if you wanted to have them there for sale or something.
If you want me to work your
Yeah, really.
All right.
Oh, what are you like
let's
$50 an hour, $100 an hour?
I want to just shut up, Aldi. Hold on a second.
Man, no respect, Aldi. None.
It's so funny. I posted today. I'm like, hey, if I have a meeting with you at a con coming up, meaning if you're a publisher we might be doing business with, you'll probably walk away with one of these. And everybody's like, hey, can I have a meeting with you? I'm like, you can buy them at BGG. I even said we'll be posting the BGG link soon.
Yeah.
That shit story.
It's going to be awesome.
BGG.
BJJ.
All right. So, I'm down to one board game Grail.
One Grail game?
One Grail game. That's Master Thief.
There can be only one.
I'm
Master
down to
with-
one.
That can only be one.
Master
Like-
of your own domain? What?
Master Thieves. And I'm
No, you'll
down to
never
one.
get that. You'll never find it.
And I'm not going to say
I
anybody's
think I've
names,
ever heard of it.
but basically somebody reached out after I mentioned that, and they're like, "Yeah, hey, I have a copy." and I'd be willing to sell it for, whatever. Here, X amount of dollars.
Is it CR?
What?
CR? Initial CR?
No.
Okay, somebody else.
So, like I
Much.
have a, well, I mean, it was a fair price for,
More or less than 200.
you're right around almost,
I feel like
gotta-
it's around a 200, 250, 300.
yeah. I mean, you'd be, anyway. So, and they were like, well, it's a little busted up. And they're like, let me show it to you. And I was like, cool, show it to me. And then Scott just vanished.
He's gone.
And so, excuse me. And so then I said, it's like, well, send me pictures. And then they sent me a bunch of pictures. And I was like, it was just kind of like, and I was like, oh, that one doesn't look so great, because the thing about Master Thieves is that you have to have the since it's a giant box that you're going to be moving around and spinning around and all these things, you can't have anything on the outside that makes you think that you have to be able to, like, yeah, there you go, you bastard. Remind me, I gotta steal that from next time I come to BGG Con.
Well, now I'm going to take it out of the library.
Oh, nah.
Now he's just gonna carry
Well,
his show
that's not the
taste.
actual game. That's just the box. This is the game.
Well, yeah, and so, but if there's any scuff marks or
Yeah,
anything on
if
it,
there's any markings on here or things you could basically use to, like, mentally remember things, because they're double-sided drawers. Let's see if anything.
yeah,
comes out.
double-sided drawers, and when you open them up, sometimes things will fall out, sometimes few things won't fall out, depending upon which side you put them in. And so it's just, and let's, truth be told, it's not the greatest game.
No, it's not the big. And then it's double. You flip it over, you can rotate it.
And
There's
then
all
the
kinds
things,
of
and the things rotate as well, like the drawers rotate, just the actual, like, if I remember correctly, like, like move the top like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, it's
like,
a Rubik's Cube too.
Yeah, so it'll twist, and so
Kind of break it now. Now that I'm feeling.
yeah. So anyway, so the
But
whole
there's
thing
also
is,
these diamonds that are on these things that, like, these fall off. These
yeah,
diamonds.
and so,
Like,
like, you
I'm
have
pretty
to,
sure we broke at least 2 of these drawers. We had like a bunch of extra drawers.
so the whole point is that, like, you're trying to find gems and stuff like that, and depending upon your role and you're playing, you get to put things in and take things out, and you don't get to show
We got
anybody.
little sacks of gems.
Yep.
Ooh.
And you can put little bombs in there that'll blow people up and stuff when they find them. And, like, if they open up a thing and the stuff spills out because it's upside down, you get to. So there's all these things, and it's more of a game to, like, say I've got it right than anything else,
Status
because
symbol.
what?
Status symbol.
Yeah, and it's a very
Yeah, you won't really play this game.
yeah. I mean, I played at BGG Con almost every year
Yeah.
that I come, and, like,
Not no more.
Feels it.
Nah. Anyway, so the whole point is that, so, there was
This is a
price.
well-worn rule book.
Yes,
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It's taped up. It's been handled many times.
Yes, it has. So
Why do you hold it a certain way, Scott? why did you hold it in a certain way when you
What do you
opened it up?
Well, it's. I don't know if
It
I
was
want
either
to
like it was either like opening
I don't
up
know
a
what's been on
porno
here.
magazine or like
it's been handled a few times.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it was weird. So they're
Okay.
like, oh well, I want X amount of money or whatever for the thing, and I was like,
Not
ah,
worth it.
that one looks like it's kind of beaten up or whatever. And they were like, well, I got another one, and they said, but that one's that one's like, I don't know, I think it's in worse condition though, but I'd be willing to let that one go for less. And I was like, well, let's see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And so then the person came back to me and they were like, oh, this one's actually in really, really good shape. And I was like, and then they sent me pictures or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, that is in a lot of good shape. And I was like, again, I wasn't gonna be like, well, you told me you'd sell it for less. I wasn't gonna, like, be that person and try to be a jerk.
Oh, you weren't? You're not
No.
not that guy?
No,
surprised
no.
you
And
were
I
not-
was just kind of like, but then it was just like,
But then it came out.
so the response, the response after the fact was like one of those things where, and they're like, well, I want to keep this one, but I'll sell the other one. I was like, well, the other one's all beaten up. It's got it's got like little notches missing from some of the drawers and stuff like that. You can't play it because I mean, it'd be like, oh, well, I'm not going to put anything in this drawer because everybody knows what's in there. And you're going to remember because you're going to know exactly where that is. And you're also going to remember it's like anything that's close to this, you're going to be able to remember because you'll be able to count how many spaces away from the place that's got the damage.
Well, you probably just
I don't know. No, I don't know. I might just have to give up on that dream. But anyway, I told you that story. So this one. So
time to play initials now.
no, very soon. So I actually got one of my role-playing game grails in the mail. So I can remember going to B. Dalton Bookseller. Does anyone remember B. Dalton
Yes.
Bookseller?
Yeah.
So I remember going to B.
Walden
Dalton
Books and B.
Bookseller.
Dalton.
So I didn't have a Walden. I had a B. Dalton
We had both.
Bookseller.
I think we did too, Scott.
When my mother would go to the mall, West Acre Shopping Mall, she literally would take me to B. Dalton. This is before cell phones, for anything else, and she'd say, "Just stay here," and I would sit in B. Dalton Bookseller, just looking at books. Like I couldn't. I was in heaven, and I loved looking at the D&D books, going over to where the D&D books were, and I would always. Like, I had the Player's Handbook, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook, the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons DMG, the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual. I had the Fiend Folio. You know, I had the things that I thought were important to have. But the one thing I always would look at and I'd be thinking, I should get that. But I never thought I should get it. I never pulled the trigger. I never got a copy of Deities and Demigods.
Oh, really?
No, I never did, because it was just one of those things where it's like, well, I mean, I already know all the Norse gods. I already use them already. I don't need to know stats for the gods, because nobody's going to go fight the gods or anything like that. I just wouldn't do it. And so I would always, it was just like one of those things. But I always thought the book was neat. And it was, I would sit there and I'd flip through and I'd read it. And then years later, I was like, well, I should pick up a copy of that. I just never had one. But then I always found out that the first printing,
Cthulhu one,
included Cthulhu and also Elric, the Muldabone, like Elric, like the old Elric books, and like the Muldabone or Muldabodoian or everything it's called. I forget how it's pronounced. It had those two mythoses in it. And then the second printing, they had those two mythoses in it, but then they have a little blurb that says, thank you to like Chaosium for allowing us to include this stuff in the book. And then starting with the third printing, they had to remove them. Basically, they got and if you talk to Jim Ward, a guy who worked for TSR for years, Jim Ward swears, and he'll swear to anybody who asks him that when he wrote the very first time ever, he wrote Chaosium the very first time, asking them if it was okay if they included that stuff in the book. And they wrote him a letter saying, not only do we say it's okay, we insist that you include those things because we can't think of anything we'd like more than to be included in like a publication of yours. And he said the biggest issue, he said, is that I lost that letter.
Really? It got lost? Lost it in
Yeah.
the circular file?
Well,
So it was just one of those things where it's like, if I only had that, just like they don't have it. So anyway, there's a Facebook group called RPG Auctions. And so
Nice, good condition too.
oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, it's got a little bit of rounding here, but and it has of course everybody wrote their name on the inside of their book because everybody had the same books. You wanted to make sure you got your book back. So Jim Wiesner at 59 Gunther Avenue in Tonawanda, New York, 14150. Thank you very much. I have your book now. I tried tracking him down. I couldn't find him. I wanted to just say, hey, I got your stuff. So
That'd be kind of creepy, I think.
well, no, like I just thought that'd be. I mean, if somebody found my old D&D books and like said, "Hey, by the way, look what I found," I'd be like, "That's really cool. Thank you so much."
My DM
Wait,
has
I'm
all
not
my-
done.
He's not done talking. You know, Rachel doesn't let him talk at home. Let him get it out.
Rachel.
Sorry, has it been a half an hour already?
But anyway, there you go.
Nice.
The Cthulhu Mythos. So
As a
I
teenager,
have.
I never knew what that was.
Yeah, I have. It is a second printing. So I mean, theoretically, if I could find a first printing, I would maybe but this one has special thanks. Special thanks are also given to Chaosium Incorporated for permission to use the material found in the Cthulhu mythos and the Meldebanian mythos, which was Elric. Blood and souls for my god Elric, my dark soul. Yeah. So anyway,
Cool.
I managed to clear off a RPG grail of mine. One of the things that is annoying is that somewhere in my mother's basement I have a bunch of my old stuff, and I've been trying to decide if I'm going to either try to find that stuff or if I'm going to start trying to replace some of my old books. But I mean, those books will probably beat to hell. So yeah. Anyway.
They got to come out eventually, Lane. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Sean Stretton, what's that worth got on? I don't know what that means. Kabuki
Like
Kid,
$50.
if you have a good quality one, they're worth well more than that. I was able to finagle a pretty good deal on this one because I did a trade, but anyway, it is yeah. I met Errol Otis. This is Errol Otis art. He's kind of a he is an icon. He's done a lot of art. Errol Otis, when you see it, you can recognize Errol Otis art the moment that you see it. I met him. He's a very, very, very nice dude. A little weird. But
Did you ever see Eye of the Beholder?
Yeah.
That was a great documentary about all the art.
Yep, that was. I agree.
Oh, so I
So-
finished this War Mine, or I mean, Last of Us.
Oh, did you? What'd you think?
Oh.
Crossing my honors.
Did everybody else? Did you, Matt? Did you finish it? Okay.
So what did you? I mean, without spoilers, what did you think of the ending?
Didn't really care for it, but it's
Yeah?
fine. I mean, whatever. How else are they gonna end it? I'm amazed at the amount of I don't know what do you want to say about this? I shouldn't say anything.
That
never
is
finished the game.
exactly how.
But they basically
Yeah.
made a video game at the end there, yeah.
Yeah, that is exactly how the game ends. And the interesting thing is that the episode with them, I think we already talked about this, but the episode of her and her friend in the mall,
Yeah,
that's actually was DLC that you got after the game came out.
Oh, like the mall adventure.
The mall adventure. It was a prequel.
I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
No, I mean overall I think the show is fine. I'm just not that excited about it, I guess. I don't know. Tepid, I would say, was my response to the end of the game.
I mean,
The best episode was the episode with Nick Offerman and the guy from White Lotus.
and that was, I mean,
Really?
that was incredibly stretched out. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Right, but it was so good. I love
no,
every second
I'm not denying it at all. It was very good.
told story.
It was, but I just didn't think for the series it fit for me. Like it just, all right, we're still in Boston, you know, or
So-
Pittsburgh, wherever it was, you know.
My big
I thought it was a
thing-
great story, but it just kind of took me out of the
The
main
storytelling,
story,
they did
you
a
know?
really good job storytelling on that one.
Yeah,
So good.
So Last of Us 2 was like, in my opinion, it wasn't a bad game, but it was the game we didn't need. I thought that the way that Last of Us ended in the game was fantastic. I mean, it was like it's very much, this is a little bit of a gimme, but it's very much a Twilight Zone-esque ending to me, right? It's just kind of like that's their story. I mean, it's just like and it's just you don't have to have a you don't have to have an addendum to it. I mean, yeah, I mean, it was just I mean, there was nothing wrong with Last of Us 2. I mean, it just felt like it was,
I don't know. I'm just sort of disappointed in the ending.
yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't know how. Honestly, I don't really know how you would. What's a better ending? I don't know.
Uh,
I'm not a creator.
It's
I can't
all
think
revealed
that
to
much.
be a simulation in a Matrix-esque
I would have preferred
world.
that. Honestly, actually, that would have been mind blown. That would have been. I can think of 5 things now that's spin off of simulation matrix type games, or movies. Anyway, all right, I gotta go within the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
Oh, geez. All right.
Gotta do the game or no?
Do you want me to read the rules?
There's rules.
If you tune
This
in
weekend is TPF, by the way. I'm warming up.
What's
the pinball
The
thing, right?
Texas Pinball Festival.
So if you tune into KFan on iHeartRadio app, you can do that. If you turn into KFan at excuse me, at I think
KFan?
it's 8.
I think they're all on
8
YouTube as well.
Yeah,
Oh, are they?
well, yeah, they do it live on YouTube as well.
It's a long time to watch an episode, though, by the way, because they got a lot of ads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, no.
lots.
But if you tune into KFan, they are doing one of their big live events in Las Vegas actually on Friday. You can listen to or watch Initials live at if you go there, and you can if you want to listen. I mean, the guys who do it they're pretty funny, and I guess there's a gal as well. So anyway, here we go. And Brett, there you go. Oh, look at that.
Pay.
Pie. So, all right. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, before we start, one quick story. Yesterday I stayed home because I was waiting for my new color laser printer to arrive. The box is right there. And I got a message saying it got delivered, but it wasn't there. It wasn't here. Like, what the fuck? Porch Pirate?
That's
What?
common. That's
So,
common.
so then my phone rings and it says Washington. I'm sorry, something British Columbia or something like that. I'm like, what the hell? I go, hello. I said, hi, is this Matt? Yeah, this is so and so. I live on Oxford Street. Okay, I have a printer just got delivered here. I said, do you live at 19 Oxford Street? Our old address. And he says, yeah. I said, can I come get the printer this afternoon? He says, sure. I guess I haven't. I haven't ordered from Best Buy online in over 17 years.
That would be it. Yeah.
That's all you've been on. Moved.
It was the wrong address. It was kind of funny.
Really?
So,
Wow.
I'm surprised the person got a hold of you.
my number was right on the package.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. They don't do that down here. Your phone number would not be on a package down here.
All right, cool. Sorry, Lance.
No, you're okay. Here we go.
PP.
Here.
No, you're not.
Just reminding everybody.
Appears near a question mark. Connected to the color blue. Connected to Atlantic City.
Aldi.
Go ahead.
Park Place.
Park Place is correct.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Aldi.
I thought it was something else, but then the Park Place popped in.
Yeah.
Well done. I wouldn't have got that one.
I thought it was punctuation mark, but that is not a PP.
No,
No, it
no, no.
I would have made
Doesn't
fun
work.
of you.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work on this case.
All right. Debuted in The Little White Bird.
Little white bird.
Bird.
Connected to Levi Miller in 2015.
Who the hell is Levi Miller?
Connected to ABC's Once Upon a Time. Connected to peanut butter.
Matt.
Barry. Go ahead,
Matt.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Peter
Mm.
Pan
Go on,
is
see it here,
correct.
see it
I
in
was
the-
on the trail for the Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, so was I.
It's funny because I usually have my gut when I watch Aldi, like I can see the hamster moving, and I'm like should I?
I got nothing.
I'm going to give myself another little pregnant pause before I go, so you can
A pregnant pause, you say?
has appeared in black and white. Debuted in I Haven't Got a Hat. Commonly appears in a blue coat. Forrest, the initials
I don't
are
want to know the letters. Just for the first one. I just want to blue coat. I want to try and wing it just for the first one.
appeared at the end of 1988's Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Force.
Forrest.
Oh, Jesus. Bill Cosby.
No.
No.
For some reason, I don't know why.
Close, very close there.
Number 5, does not wear pants.
Aldi.
Aldi.
That's all, folks. Porky Pig.
Porky
Ah, yeah.
Pig is
AP.
correct.
Nicely done.
Yes, God, yes.
That was my second guess.
But when you said that's all, folks, I was thinking Bugs Bunny.
Although
That's what I was thinking too.
There we go. Debuted in the 19th century. Swedish-born Jan Ove Waldner is often considered the Mozart of this. Features rubber and wood. Forrest Gump once
Barry.
did this. Well, go ahead.
Ping pong.
Ping pong is correct. Yes, made its Olympic debut in
Forrest
South
Gump,
Korea.
he's like, boom.
Yeah.
I was close before it. I was just making sure.
All right, here we go. Is the title of a 2003 David Bowie song.
2003.
That doesn't start with a P, Scott.
Is referenced in a Jay-Z song off 2013's Magna Carta Holy Grail.
Oh, that's a good one.
In a sense, his first word was pencil. Connected to cubism.
Matt,
Oh.
Matt's first.
Pablo Picasso.
Yeah.
Pablo Picasso.
That's the first thing I thought of when you showed us the PP, because there's an Animaniacs skit where they're like, they're interacting with Pablo Picasso. He's got a smock on, and there's PP, and he's like, "You have PP on your smock." That's it, Lance. Just flat.
Walter,
dead.
wait.
You fucker.
Walter White once threw this on a roof.
Forrest,
Forrest,
pepperoni pizza.
I'll accept it. Pepperoni. Try not to
you
mumble
say
next time.
pepperoni? Baroni pizza?
Pepperoni pizza. That is
I
correct.
heard something else too.
Can't got my tongue.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, got that on the first one.
By the way, did you lose a bet with that beard you're growing there, buddy? Or
I will have you know that all my friends and my wife agreed this is the nicest facial hair I've ever had in my life, which is really saying something. Trying to force my body. I'm trying to tell my body I'm going to win and have some good facial hair.
You know,
Was
I
the-
think you could
He
really
almost
pull
went
off
through
a Fu
puberty.
Manchu.
Yeah.
yeah,
the
no.
answer-
I mean, if he got rid of this and just went with the trailer, the trailer foo, yeah, I think.
Oh, the down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
ooh, I might do that.
like the
Oh,
Danny
no.
Trejo.
Mm.
yeah, and just and walk
I
around
like it.
with a. Yeah,
All right, that's
Was
it.
the answer actually pepperoni pizza or was it pizza pie?
it was pepperoni pizza.
Pepperoni pizza. Pizza.
I feel like it was a really good.
It was
clue
Peroni
plot.
pizza. That's a
All
beer.
right. Clue number one can be found in a library. Appeared in a 1985 black comedy. Sometimes connected to a rope. Often seen with a pipe.
Aldi?
Go ahead.
Pied Piper? He had a pipe
He had a pipe.
Yeah, yeah.
of sorts.
Was played by Christopher Lloyd. Final clue. Purple is connected to this board game
Barry.
character. Barry.
Professor Plum.
Oh, yeah.
Professor Plum is correct.
Mhm.
The truck, the pickup truck I
Oh,
have,
the-
my old beat up pickup truck is kind of a plum color. So my pickup truck is known as the Professor.
Watched that last year. Still stands up very well.
Oh, Clue, fantastic
yeah.
movie.
Never
And-
seen
and-
it.
Oh, you should
Oh
watch
my
it.
goodness.
You should watch it.
It is still
Yeah, watch
good
it.
today.
Watch
Oh
it.
yeah,
And I think they
is.
do all three endings now, right? At one end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So when it was released, there was 3 different endings, and depending upon where you were, you got one of the, so the ending you saw wasn't necessarily the ending that anybody else saw, depending upon where in the world you were. But now if you watch it on streaming, they actually have an ending that was, it could have ended that way, or maybe it ended like this, and then it was like, and it could have ended like that, but it actually ended
really
like
ended like
this.
this.
And then they show you, and so you get all 3 endings. Martin Mull is really, really good in that.
Oh yeah.
Did
So
he pass?
What?
Did he pass away?
Yeah, I think.
Martin.
the guy with glasses.
How old is Martin Mull?
I don't.
Martin Mull is 79 years old.
Still alive.
Still not very much.
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of that passed away? Was it the guy who played Johnny Fever? Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
passed away recently.
Yeah.
Howard Hessman.
There you go. Howard Heston. He's the one that passed away. I always got those two mixed up.
Booger.
Probably because of the alliteration, and they kind of were like, Martin Mull, I guess, is like a huge painter now.
Is he really?
And he gets like a ton of money for his paintings. Like he's really well known for it. I saw some interview. I think Norm Macdonald interviewed him, and he was talking about his painting. He was like, "What if I wanted a painting?" He's like, "You couldn't afford one." He's just like, and he wasn't even joking either. He was like, "You couldn't afford them." So, all right, here we go. Commonly occurs during a test. Often considered difficult to learn. Michael Scott once famously struggled with this on The Office. Connected to Meadows Soprano on the final episode of The Sopranos. This features reverse. Final clue. A sometimes frustrating driving technique.
Force.
Forrest.
Parallel park.
Parallel parking is correct. Yes. I can't remember. Clue. 1 + 1 + 2 + 1. No, 1 + 1 + 2 + 2 + 1. Just they're arguing over the bullets. Such a good show. I gotta watch that again. That's like in my weird 80s comedies that I like watching, like that and The Burbs. Really like The Burbs. Burbs is fun.
We just watched that the other day. Last
Yeah.
week.
Oh, Rick Dukeman, rest in peace. So hilarious though. This furnace here goes to 5,000 degrees. You think that's standard for a house in this neighborhood? So dumb. These are worn. Bruce Dern was getting them too. Geez. Bobby Brown was told this is not a toy in a 1989 comedy.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Parachute pants.
And
Oh man.
Good guess.
Shot is shot. You shot the shot, Scott.
Hit too hard, too early.
Yeah.
Would have felt good though. Was right.
Would have been awesome.
But it was a swing and a miss.
connected to energy. They aid in capture. They were designed by Dr. Egon Spengler.
Matt,
Matt.
proton particle.
Sorry. Oh, you got it first.
Oh shit.
Proton packs.
Proton pack. That's correct. Yes. Don't
You
cross
got
the
it
stream.
In spirit.
Yeah. It's like, what are you guys at? What are
So
you guys,
close,
guys
Matt.
sort of asking us? No, somebody, exterminator, somebody saw a cockroach up on the 12th floor. It must be some cockroach. Bite your head off, man.
But, yeah.
And one of the underrated moments was when Egon's going down the thing with this PKE meter and he goes up next to that guy and then he stops and then he just touches him to make sure he's real. Oh, I just love that moment. Is over 50 years old.
Such an odd clue.
Has a writing utensil as a nickname. Connected to cups. Features a captain. Connected to someone nicknamed Super Mario.
Aldi.
Go ahead.
Princess Peach.
And
What?
this professional hockey team wears yellow,
Forrest.
white, Forrest.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Ooh, I'm hot
What's
tonight.
the deal with the Mario? Oh, okay. I get it.
Yeah, Super Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux.
That Mario.
I was thinking of a different Super Mario athlete.
Lemieux.
We got 4 left. And it's anybody's game. It's anybody's game. Everybody's still in it. Even Barry, strangely. Barry's been like scoring points lately. It's crazy. It's like he's paying attention or something. I don't know.
I'm just more stoned.
Whatever works.
Never hurts. Never hurts.
No, that's not true. It can't. Anyway.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're driving, but you know.
I
And
don't.
if you're young and your brain is forming, and
Oh yeah, that I agree as well.
lots of ways. They can get hurt.
Neither of them, are affecting me. Yeah.
Based on a 2008 nonfiction book. Featured vomiting. Connected to Barden University.
Matt,
Go ahead.
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect is correct.
I should
It's a-
know that.
That's that movie, right?
That's that
It's
movie.
a series of movies that my wife watched relentlessly for months on end.
That Connected to Cups could also have been in that.
Yeah,
clue.
that's
Yeah.
the fifth. That's the fifth clue. Connected to cups. I don't know what that means, but
It's a song by what's her name? Anna Kendrick does that song.
if you say so. I have osmosisly absorbed it by being in the same
It's a good
room.
movie.
When my,
It's worth
I love
watching.
acapella music, so
It's fun.
I liked it the first time.
First movie. Yeah. I don't know about
I'm
that.
not
No, I mean the first time.
I don't know. I have to go. I have to go and watch a lot of musicals because my daughter's involved in that stuff and yeah, no, I'm not a fan.
how's the trombone, by the way?
Yeah, I gotta tell that story. Anyway, here we go. Has connections to golf, tennis, soccer, and more. Debuted in 1985. Is a champion driver. Wears blue earrings. Has been kidnapped many times. Final clue. Lives in a castle in the Mushroom
Aldi.
King.
Princess Peach.
I was like, how are you not?
Well, I don't
calling
know.
this
I mean,
Aldi?
those clues are so.
Those are very.
Yeah, they were-
Those are
But
obtuse.
kidnapped many times is like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I'm sure.
Mario.
I wasn't thinking that
The
would be
princess is in another castle.
But the first three throw you off on that one.
Yeah. Well, she's a champion driver, Super Mario Kart, baby. Here we go. Two left. Commonly covered. Released in 1997. Sometimes considered obscene. Often found inside pants. Featured Howard Stern.
Barry.
Aldi.
Wait, because that Barry and Forrest sounded like at the exact same
Yeah, I'm not
time to
sure if it
me.
was Mirror Forest either.
I gotta go.
You were late to the ball.
I gotta go with the arbiter of reality in this one. I think Barry was just a hair ahead. Yeah, I mean that was like
We got
it
a
was
4-hour lag.
yeah. I'm gonna have her. Arbiter of reality's gotta. It sounded like it was like, and then I heard.
I can give you a real quick review of the 24 game. There's a 24 CTU game. It's terrible. Don't buy it.
Kabuki, it's the arbiter of reality. You need to make a
You
choice.
come to a decision there.
Hit the
Yeah.
rewind. Instant replay.
Barry, so it could be perfect. Just say Barry. Kabuki kids say Barry.
I think you can probably take that. Matt.
Oh, she just texted me. She said it was Barry. Okay, so Barry, go ahead with the answer.
Private parts.
Very good. All right. Here we go. It is so Forrest with 4. And we have Aldi, Matt, and Barry all with 3. So Forrest, if you get this, you win. If somebody else, this is the last one. This is the last card. So it's either Forrest wins the whole thing or he's got to share his victory. So here we go. Appeared in the 17th century book, The Gentlewoman's Companion. Number 2. Connected to McCormick in the 1930s.
Wish I knew what that
Great.
was.
Its growth was aided by industrial canning. Clue number 4. Commonly seen in the fall and winter seasons.
Force.
Forest for the win.
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie is the answer.
I was close for us.
I was trying to come up with the spice.
I was in
Commonly
pumpkin patch,
connected to the
got
colors
stuck in my
brown, orange,
head.
and white. And then the final clue is a circular Thanksgiving dessert. So I will tell you a quick story. So as everybody knows, my trombone got run over by a baggage
I gotta go.
car. All right, see you, brother.
I'll follow the trombone story later. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right.
Bears.
My trombone got ran over by a baggage car that was carrying it to a plane. It was a trombone that I had for many years. I used it when I played at a Montreux Jazz Festival in Switzerland. It traveled all around the nation with me. I played it like all through junior high, all through high school. I mean, it was a top of the line trombone. I mean, it was old, but my daughter played it and she really liked it and she thought it was cool. But it got crushed and destroyed by the baggage car. And so American Airlines, at first they tried to strong arm me saying, well, if I don't have a receipt, we can't really give you something. And I was like, it's a freaking 30-year-old instrument. How am I going to have a receipt for that? There's no way I'm going to have that. And then they got back to me and they said, take it in. If they can't see if they can fix it, if they can fix it, we'll pay for it. If they can't fix it, we'll buy you a new trombone. So I went in to the music store that I've gone to, where I originally purchased the trombone, and I walked in and like literally it's like one of those things where it's a big music store and there isn't a single customer in there. And I walk in there with my daughter and I remember, and there's a guy, it literally felt like it was like he was on the phone. There was a guy standing behind the counter and he's sitting there and he's talking on the phone and he was just like, and it was like, and he's like, yeah, okay. And it was like maybe talking about an order or something like that. And there was some guy over here doing something. There's some people over there doing something. And it looked like I said, there wasn't a customer in the building. And it was just like, and we walked in, big cavernous music store. And I walk up and I've got the case, and the case is all smashed to bejesus in back. And it's being held together by the baggage tape that they wrap around it. And I walk up there,
Fixable.
and like literally the guy is talking on the phone, and he's just like, and he saw me, and he saw it. He goes, "I'm gonna have to call you back." So he hangs up the phone, and I said, this is what happens when your daughter takes your trombone on for a school trip and the airline runs it over. And they were just like, oh my gosh. And I was like, and I had the piece of paper that said, look, if you can fix it, they're going to pay for it. If not, we get to replace it. And literally he's like, oh my gosh. And the guy went and I knew him from somewhere. I don't know what it was, but I mean, he kind of knows me too. It's like one of those like peripheral things. And he got like a scissors out and he's cutting through this baggage tape that's holding this trombone case, this demolished trombone case together. And like quite literally, like everybody who worked at the store just came filtering over, and I was just like, and then one guy's like, he's like, Nick, you gotta come and see this. It's just like, and they cut through it. And then the guy, sorry, we're laughing about your trombone. I was like, well, when I first heard about it, I was pretty pissed off. But I still kind of am. It's one of those things where the thing that bothers me probably the most about it was I played that trombone next to like the best friend I had from ages 5 to 18 when he died of cancer when he was 18. He played trombone and he was in band with me. So it's something that like he and I played trombone together in all these different bands, and it was just kind of like it's like just this one little, this is another thing, it's just like that I've lost or whatever with that. But whatever, it's bad luck. It wasn't like it happened. It's what do you do, right? You can cry about it, but it ain't gonna do any damn good. So, but I remember they opened it up and like the Ark of the Covenant opens up and everybody's just like, oh, and like because it's smashed. I mean, it's just and the the guy was like, he's like, I was like, I don't think it can be fixed. He's like, this, my friend, is wall art of Dominicans. Just, he's like, we can't fix this. He's like, everything, it's smashed. The slide is bent. It's gone. And so, yeah. So there, but I have to have a response from their repair team saying that they can't fix it before we can actually, like have American Airlines pay them for a trombone. And until that happens, but it was like, it was definitely, it was one of those things where it was like, and then I had a really, really good conversation with the guy behind the counter because we talked about, because like he went to, and that's where I knew him. He went to a high school near me, and like, and during jazz band competitions, our bands would play against each other and stuff like that. So we ended up talking about jazz for a while and talked about playing with Maynard Ferguson, if that's a name you know. He's a pretty famous trumpet player. I think he's dead now. But like he, like our jazz band played with him. So I remember I played with like Maynard Ferguson, which which means I played, bass trombone in a band that backed up Maynard Ferguson as he was like,
Nice.
doing his thing. Yeah, which I mean is cool, right? I mean, but that's that trombone now that's been smashed to bejesus and back was the trombone I played when I did that. Just kind of like, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like my daughter even said, I really, really hope they can fix it because she really liked the idea that she was playing my trombone.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And just like, and I was like, I don't think they're gonna be able to fix it. I was just like, she was like,
So
that really sucks, is what she said. And I was like, yeah, it does.
suck.
But what do you do? Whatever. It's just bad luck.
I watched an episode of Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum recently, and Jonathan Frakes was the guest star or the interviewee, and he's a trombone player, right?
Yeah.
And he was recounting this story where Michael says to him, "So, can you talk about you playing on a Fish album?" And he all of a sudden, I almost called him Riker. Bursts out into this big smile, almost like a guffaw laugh. He's like, "Well, almost," because he's like, "I got asked. I happened to be like his agent or somebody lived across the street from the studio house where they were recording this Fish album, and they're like, hey, why don't you call Johnny Frakes? He plays trombone, and the regular guy couldn't make it or whatever the story was." So they call him over, and he goes over, and mutual admiration, blah blah blah. They get into it. He says, "It became apparent to me very quickly that what they were asking me to play was above my skill level."
Yeah.
So he's like, I gracefully bowed out. It was an interesting story. It's a really good episode, actually, if you ever want to watch it.
Yeah, I did see that one. That was a good interview. I like Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah,
with his interviews.
Frakes dropped a lot of F-bombs that interview.
That I do. Like
He's hilarious.
Spider's big for that too. He curses a lot too. Spider.
Who does?
Brett Spider.
Yeah.
Off camera.
He didn't do him, did he?
I don't think so.
Not yet. I would watch that one for sure.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So I was just thinking about Maynard Ferguson. Sorry to change the subject, but I mean, I just weird. So Maynard Ferguson did the Rocky theme, like that "Gonna Fly Now," like he played the.
Fly now.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you actually listen to it, during the montage where you hear that trumpet just hitting like that triple high C and just like, and that's Maynard, just like because he was just so freaking good on the trumpet. And but I remember like when I was watching something where when Rocky came out, which was like technically like Rocky 6 or whatever, but when like the whole idea of like, oh, Rocky Balboa comes back and he fights the champ in an exhibition match or whatever, but they were like, they had to had a thing where they wanted to like have a new version of the Gonna Fly Now played, and they were like, well, get Maynard, and like they're like, he's dead. And then he was like, and so he said, well, find me somebody. I forget what the guy's name is, but he was just like, so they, he said when he dealt with Maynard, he was like, the guy was just like all class and like, pomp and circumstance kind of thing, and like, and took it super seriously. And he said they brought in this like young kid who looked like he had just gone out of bed. He was wearing a Hawaiian T-shirt and a stained and a stained wife beater, and he showed up with like and a pair of Bermuda shorts, and he showed up with like a trumpet that was in a banged up case or whatever. And they're like, oh great, it's like, and they were like recording it, and all of a sudden like this kid was just like, he said he was half awake. I gotta find this guy's name. He was half awake, and then he got to the thing, and he was just like, and like all of a sudden this like 20 some old kid just bangs out the solo just 100% perfect, and like Stallone said, yeah, my eyes got about 10 times wide, and he was super impressed. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if any of you. Well, I know Matt listens to jazz, but you probably don't, Forrest.
I've been digging into the late 40s right now. I started in the mid 70s. I'm going to work my way back, go through like the top hits from each year. I'm at 49 right now. I like some jazz. I like the upbeat jazz. I don't like the slow stuff as much, but I dig it.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to listen to jazz.
Why?
Apparently they played at work all the time, and she won't let me listen to it at home. I like Coltrane, and there's a few, but yeah.
Fair enough.
It's yeah. Jazz is never something I really was big into. Like I've listened to it, but I never really gravitated to it too much. It wasn't really around, Like my grandparents listened to big bands and folk music and all that. And my uncles have never listened to any of that, Motown and stuff like that.
So Forrest, why are you here, man?
I just been on a couple weeks. Just been playing video games and shooting videos on them. I mean,
what have you been playing?
I played a couple new things today. I tried Mighty Doom, which is a free-to-play Doom spin-off that's Vampire Survivors-esque. It's really fun, but it's got boatloads of play to earn mechanisms. But honestly, if you're just gonna play it for say 15 to 40 minutes a day, something like that, log on every day, do a little bit. It's a really stinking fun game. It's highly recommend that one. There's another game that came out earlier this month that is a Tomb Raider game that's exactly like it, but I think the Doom game's a little bit better. I enjoy it better, but it's got all the free to play stuff, like watch an ad to get a loot crate, and it's like watch an ad if you want to continue, and but the core gameplay, it's fun. I could see that one actually do it pretty well. I played Deceive Inc., which is a new one that just came out. The beta just dropped yesterday, which is, I believe, a PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. It's really interesting. And I think I could see it doing well, but it's very slow. So essentially, you play it solo, you play it team. In team, it's you and two other people. I haven't seen anybody on the microphone yet, which I think is going to kill this game deader than a doornail, though. You got to have some sort of voice comms. And I've played probably 7-8 games, and I haven't had a single person say a word to me. But you each choose your own character, and they're all asymmetrical. So everybody's got like their different abilities they do. And then what you're doing is you have to go like disable these computers around this big map. And the thing is, it's a little bit like Among Us, where you can go around, you disguise people, and you want to blend in. Because if you don't blend in, then boom, 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 that's where the gunplay starts getting into it. And so you can win by just trying to sniff out all the other agents on the map and murdering them. or you can win by trying to achieve the objectives, or you can win by like, preying on somebody the whole game, letting them get like all the stuff because you have to break into the vault, get the thing out of the vaults, and then get to the extraction point. And each one of those things, it's its own process, and it's really cool. And I think it's got some really impressive voice acting. I remember hearing, I'm not sure anybody off the top of my head, I'd have to look it up, and I got like 50 tabs open. But it's really cool. I think it's going to be too slow for a lot of people. I think it's me. I like Apex Legends, like the fast pace nature of it. But if you like a more lethargic free to play game, because I think it's going to be completely free to play with like battle passes and whatnot. But it seemed, at least in the beta, that you could still play it all you wanted to and enjoy it. I don't know if it's free to play, but that's Deceive Inc. That one's really intriguing. If you like a slower spy based game, I think you might like it. Dude, I played 20 new games last month. I'm gonna play 20 new games this month. Like that's honestly where I've been, just playing tons of video games because it's just every
You gotta find me you gotta give me a key for the game Dredge.
Dredge.
Yeah. See, it's a fishing sim with like a Cthulhu.
I actually
Oh
think
yeah, I remember you talking about that.
I think I'm actually applied to get a key for this one now that you mentioned this one, because it's on the Switch, right?
It's on lots of things. It's on Steam, Switch, PlayStation.
Yeah, I think I actually saw this because I'm on 4 or 5 websites that get games. I think that was one that intrigued me, the fishing one.
Yeah, I don't want to pay $25. You should get it for free from me.
Just use your channel to get it, man. I can send you links, and you literally just say, "Hey, let us access your Google or your YouTube information so we can see how large your channel is," and you'll get review copies. Like,
no, I'd rather you just get it for me.
Well, then you got to make content for me, or else I get dinged. Like, there's a little system in place where you can only get a certain number of games out without making the content on them.
Yeah,
It's shocking coming from the board game world and all the hoops we have to jump, that you have to jump through to like get stuff sometimes, like with shipping and whatnot, how easy it is in the board game sector. Like it's just, or the video game sector. Sorry.
Well, it's because they're just giving you a key. You just download.
Yeah.
I know,
it.
but it's
You
just,
don't have to send anything.
It's not a physical thing.
But it's not that. It's just that there's no contact at all with anybody except this website. It's like a shopping website. Like, it's just like I go here and it's like there's like 50 to 100 to 200 games. It's just like, what do you want? You can apply for a key, and then it's like, if you get it, here's like this generic like 1-page write-up of like a little bit, or if you want to contact anybody or that sort of stuff. But it's just it's boom, you're done, and then you make the content, and then it automatically does it, kind of like a Board Game Geek does it, where if you put tags in there, it will automatically know you did it, and boom. It shows you can move on to the next thing, and it's really well done. It's really cool.
Well, I mean, as a person who sends out review copies, man, oh man, it's like the thing about like board game reviews is that like they barely do anything anymore. Honestly, it's like,
Yep.
I mean, like people decide whether they're not gonna. I mean, you basically need a big review channel, and I'm talking like a review channel with like 50,000 subscribers or more. You need a big review channel to review your game and basically go insane for it. Like, they got to be like just gush. I can't fucking believe how great this fucking game is. Just like, this is a game you need to own. This is the most, but and I'm not saying any particular channels in whatever, but it is my opinion. Like, you go and you watch like the content they make, nobody seems to get really excited about anything anymore. Everybody's very perfunctory. They're like, oh, nobody reviews anything negative. They never say anything negative about games. At most, they'll say something along the lines of, oh, well, I would have liked it maybe if I could have a couple extra actions again. No, overall, I had fun. I mean, like, that's like the most negative anybody gets.
F that. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. Yeah, I agree 100%.
But no,
Like,
but I mean, but if basically if a reviewer doesn't like just sit there, hey Matthew, see you later, buddy,
See you, Matt.
Guys, yeah.
get some sleep.
Mhm.
If they don't just lose their mind over it, they just nobody cares. I don't know how it happened. I had YouTube going off in the background, and all of a sudden it just clicked over to a YouTube channel that I subscribed to. And then once again, I'm not mentioning any names, but they were doing like a live something or other while everybody was sitting around discussing something. And like it was and God bless them. You know, I mean, and honestly, they had people watching and listening and responding and stuff. So my opinion doesn't matter for shit. So that, because there's obviously people that were enjoying it. But I was just like, oh my gosh, it's just like these are like it's just softball answers and just like, it's like I'm gonna ask you, my co-host of this show. It's like, I've been finding that games with mechanisms that I'm more familiar with tend to be things that I'm more comfortable in playing with on the table, and and you're able to get people to play it more often. Would you agree? Oh yeah, I also. You're just like, what? It's like it was like the people that answer the question that they're asking, like when you're watching like sports writers or sports people interviewing. It's just like I've been seeing that you've been working harder on getting more pressure on the quarterback in recent games, and you've been having some success, and I think that's led to a lot of your winning these last couple. Would you agree? Yes. Just like I don't know. It just stuff like that just drives me crazy, and it's just I mean.
Oh.
God love them. They're making the content that their subscribers obviously want, and they should. And why should they listen to me? I mean, but it is something that I don't know. It's just is it weird that like I just feel like everybody's there are RPG channels that like do like RPG stuff, and I'll watch them, and then they'll start talking about. Oh, I hate the fact that, this woke bullshit is entering into D&D, and I'm like, okay, I'm turning you off. But in a way, I'm saying, you know what? You're actually taking a stand. You're like putting your feet in the ground, and you're like saying, you know what? I don't like this fucking bullshit. This way, I disagree 1000% with your stance, but at least by God, you're actually like gonna say I'm gonna say what I want and I'm gonna do what I want and this is what I feel and screw you if you don't like it. Well, I don't like it and I'm never watching another video from you again. But I'm so glad that like you actually like stood up and said something as opposed to everybody else who just seems to be milk toasting and phoning it in. So
Well, because of what we were talking about earlier, money got involved.
yeah. I got a question for you. This is an interesting one. What do you think the landscape of board game, YouTube content creators, TikTok, like the Instagram reels, what do you think is going to change? Let's just go 10 years in the future.
Well, Tom's going to have to retire at some point.
Eventually, yeah.
Tom's older than me, and he's not going to want to be 65 and still doing videos.
And he's got 20 kids.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely maybe he'll still keep doing it, but I just can't see Tom wanting to be doing this 10 years from now.
No.
I can't see Tom wanting to be doing it 5 years from now. So somebody's gonna have to take over the dice now.
I disagree with that to a certain extent. I think I could see Tom pivoting to just I don't do anything. Like I just show up, I play a game, and I talk. And he might already do that right now. But I could see that, like just the special, the big games, the big releases. Somebody else is going to be teaching me, and I'm just the personality. He's the talent. He's the talent. Everybody else is going to be doing everything else, and they might already, for all I know, for all we know. But I could, because the thing is, he's never going to stop enjoying playing games, especially.
But here's the problem with that is that I mean, I can't tell you one way or another, but it is a young man's game. I mean, it is a young man's game. I mean, it's just like you need to have. I mean, as board games and the people that play board games are getting younger and younger, like if you're a 25-year-old person, unless you have the old, like, I'm your kindly old uncle that's going to come in here and tell you about this stuff, they don't want to see a 55-year-old graybeard talking about a game. They just don't want to see that. And
That's
so, what happens is in 10 years, the people that are playing board games are getting older as well. And then people are getting in. But like the people that probably still watch Tom or Rado or, whatever, the graybeards, they still watch them. They're in their 30s or 40s, and they may continue to keep watching. But here's the thing about people when they get older, they die. Or they move on, or that's just not their thing anymore, right? And so when some 22-year-old goes to somebody's house to drink beer and they're playing whatever, insert whatever board game most recently came out, they're playing Gloomhaven or something, or Frosthaven or Desert Haven, or Sky Haven, or whatever the next one's gonna be called. And plays it like, oh my gosh, I love board games, I want to get into this. And they're gonna be like, who's this old fart trying to fucking tell me about this stuff? No, I need a young person to tell me about
Well,
this.
I don't know about that. I feel like I didn't think. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
I thought about it for a little bit more.
Kids don't like adults anymore.
I don't know. I think I might buck that, because I'm just so fucking out there.
I don't know.
Right,
I mean, like I said, I mean, my dream. I've always said my dream is to not be involved in the hobby anymore, so I can just I could talk about anything I want and go off on stuff that I call what I think is BS, right? But let's be honest, I'm kind of lazy, and I just wouldn't really want to do it anyway. I mean, because outrage, as I've said, outrage is a young man's game. I just can't get outraged about stuff anymore. I get mad about something, and then I realize I'm 51 years old. I basically just need to hold it together and not die until my kids are out of college, and then I'm done. And then I'm out. I mean, it's just then they can.
Then I can die or whatever.
Yeah, no, but
I get
I get it.
They're out of the house.
Get
They're
my
not my
kids. Get my
responsibility.
kids out of college if they choose to go, and get them into a career, which would be my son's 11. So I gotta hang on to be about. I've told my wife I just need to hang on to be about 62, 63, and then anything after that is gravy, because then it's so I can't screw up their lives by croaking. And so I mean, that's and so yeah, I mean, it's just kind of but I mean, at that point, who wants to listen to some grouchy 60-year-old guy talk about why board games are lame? They're like, okay, whatever, get grandpa his pills. Just
I don't know.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think of Siskel and Ebert, and how instead of oh, who are these old guys? I say, oh wow, these are people who have played so many games. They have seen trends go by. They could talk. They have forgotten more about board games than I will ever probably know. And I think that kind of personality could be cultivated. I think.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
And I think maybe. I don't know. I think I push against that a little bit more, because it's especially with board games, I just feel like the board game crowd would be more receptive to older people than, say, if it was video games. I think it is a little bit different in that realm. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to be doing it until I'm retired, until I'm old.
Old? What's old?
Till I die.
Okay.
Till I die. Start scheduling some stuff after I die. I mean, I just don't see the passion going away, because if it does, I'll just start covering something else I'm passionate about.
Yeah. But back to what we were saying, I think the passion in the reviewing in general is going away. Since money's got involved, since everybody's looking to work at home with this and stuff like that.
Well, as soon as money enters it, or even just as soon as Kickstarter enters it, it becomes a weird realm. I shot a video tonight, And I shot a video. I did. So somebody paid me to do a video for their upcoming Kickstarter. And I ended up doing a how to play video for them. And then we played the game and everybody enjoyed it. And I was like, all right, everybody enjoy this? I was like, yes. I was like, all right, we'll shoot a video on it. And in the video, I say it feels exactly like Splendor meets Machikoro meets sprinkled with a little bit of Catan. And in the video, we broke down like the mechanisms and how they connected to those games. And then I said, well, here's the $1 million question. Would you rather play this game or would you rather play Machikoro? And I was like, no, I'd rather play Machikoro and I'd rather play Splendor. And then I'm like, well, is this person going to like that video? Are they going to want it posted on their page now? And it makes everything so weird. And it's like, I don't know. Like I've already gotten paid. But I'm going to be like, hey, do you want this video up day one or do you want it up after you're done? Because people like, I don't know. I think with how much competition there is on Kickstarter, just anything that is not exclusively praise, there's a lot of people that just don't want in their videos, which just leads itself to just a boatload of previews and gameplay videos. And gameplay videos are fantastic. Don't get me wrong on gameplay videos, but previews,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have one, but a dime a dozen.
I don't think if I were new into this hobby, I don't know how I would be able to get excited about everything because everything's a Kickstarter now. It's not coming for another year and a half, 2 years. It's
Well, if you play the game, like this one, I wasn't that super excited about it. I thought it was a good game. But for like a gateway game, I think some people could be was very good. But there's been some games where like Chronicles of Crime, like you still get excited about the game because you play the game like this game's freaking fantastic.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like, if I'm a consumer coming in and I'm watching these reviewers, it's like, all right, but I gotta wait 2 years for a game.
Yeah.
It's they want the money now. It's almost that's a weird thing to me. Yeah.
Our whole hobbies, like it's so weird. Like I was looking at AEG's game today, and I thought they did a fantastic job on their Kickstarter. Like, and I thought they've done a really piss poor job. Like the last four, and I talked in the video, I was like, oh my gosh, whoever started steering the ship on their Kickstarters, kudos to them. Because I went from like consistently giving them D's to an A today because it was so well done. But at the end of it, I was like, they're shaking us down for $82 for like a Race for the Galaxy type experience. Like that's the game. And I'm not saying that trying to compare those two games, but like bite size, like it's its own central game. You play it for what, 45 minutes. And maybe it's a great experience, but I was like, damn, $80 for that experience is where we're at. And yes, it's the deluxeified version. It comes with bowls and it comes with like a wrapped, like, it's eccentric, but it's just like Kickstarter's so weird. And I was like, well, let's really think about this. 3 years from now, are you going to be able to get this for $30 at Cool Mini or not? And that's assuming everything goes well with this game. And it's so weird.
Yeah,
it's so weird what Kickstarter has done to the hobby.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but it's so bizarre. Because it's like $80 used to be like a premium game, like campaign, something to stake. And it's like, it's a tableau drafting game, 150 cards. It's just so weird to me. But good for AEG. They're crushing that Kickstarter right now.
Neat.
Man, I think can I toot my horn for a minute?
I mean, not on camera, but I mean, sure, go ahead.
I see my fingerprints over so many Kickstarter campaigns nowadays. Like I really do. Like I see
scary.
I see within a week changes to main image to organization. I get comments consistently, like a couple of weeks, like, oh, they took this to heart. They did this, they did that. And it's like age, like just it's so interesting to me that I was the crazy guy yelling from my roof about this is crappy so much. And now it's like Galactic Renaissance, the spinoff to Enos, immediately the day after changed it. What was it? There was another one that I saw where they changed it. And Age Contrived changed it. Like there's so many companies that watch the videos. They're like, oh yeah, it's like, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And it's just cool to me. Like it's really neat.
So you're
A free consultant.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I charge too. Get that fiber going. That's the end game. I'm not
Fiverr's
making.
the other game.
Oh yeah, fiber's the end game. Like YouTube's gonna be nice. That's gonna be some chunk of change, every single day just coming in. But the fibers, that's where it is. I offer so many services on rule booklets, on the Kickstarters, on the
Yeah.
YouTube videos. Hopefully I'll start getting some video game fibers in there. Enough little things going on that it's starting to add up.
You want to be diversified. I understand.
And plus, man, for my fiber customers, I just kiss it. I give us so much. Give us so much. Go so hard on it. What's up, Evan?
What's up?
Uh-oh.
Not much.
I missed your hat.
We got the
Right.
Unabomber Evan here. What's up?
I can't wait to see it in Ohio.
Yeah, buddy.
I normally don't hang out with anybody because I'm just
Need
crazy
glasses.
all over the place. But we're gonna make that happen. Like you play some games or something.
Heck yeah, man. Sounds good. Yeah, I normally just run into you midstream.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the conventions.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. It'll be fun.
how are your NFTs coming, by the way?
I haven't checked them since the last time you brought them up. Like I said, I don't care at this point. Like now it's just like I'm hoping I'm just gonna come back and be like, oh shoot. Like there we go. But like, do I actively look at? No. I don't cover or play or do anything with that at all. It's dead to me. But if there was a game that like wowed me and it was like, oh, it's a fantastic game, I'd get back into it. But I'm gonna rob you of joy because my response is like, yeah, whatever.
Better than I thought.
I'll check it right now. Let's see how the Pellicore Bandits are doing. Talk
see ya.
amongst yourself.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst us.
I don't remember.
Pellicore
my password.
Bandits. Here we go. I'm
Here
excited.
you go.
What did you pay for each one of your Pellicore Bandits again?
Oh my gosh,
$2.
it was you really great. I don't even remember my password. I got it. Every single one was, oh my gosh, it's so loud, was 3.5 cents or less.
What did you pay?
Every single one of them was 3.5 cents or less. But
You
I
say it
bought
one more time just so you could get it.
but I bought thousands of them from less than a penny to 3.5 cents, if I recall correctly. God, they got all this background music. Okay. Sorry, I don't know how to navigate this anymore either.
If they're worth over 5 cents each, sell.
Oh, they're not. They were not over this. Oh.
If they're worth 3 cents
They're
each,
up
sell.
to a little. They're getting close to 2 cents.
Hey.
Okay.
All right.
We're up to 0.15 cents for the cheapest, on average 0.17 cents. So they rounded up, but that is up 0.7 of a penny since the last time you asked, or roughly around that. Because like I said, I'm not particularly worried about it. As long as the game doesn't die, there's only going to be less in the market, and there's a huge marketplace of like hundreds of cards. My card is only going to continue to go up in price as hopefully, other people say, oh, crypto's making the comeback. It's making the comeback.
No,
As
it
the
isn't.
banks collapse.
So I was watching a thing about crypto, and I mean, I'm not trying to get a big giant debate about crypto, but like it was fantastic. There were like it wasn't TED Talks, but it was like TED Talks, and like there was this guy who was basically, he got up there and I hate to use terminology like crypto bro, but I mean, like he was totally like, hey, and like,
Who's a crypto bro?
He was a crypto bro.
Yeah, and he was like, so we know that, like, right now crypto is on a downswing right now, and so like Bitcoin, a lot of people are like, that I'm like, every little bit I have, I'm buying more and more Bitcoin, and I'm just like when I can, because it's going to be a situation where, it's only going to get better, and we're in a downswing. He kind of went through this whole long thing, and here's the deal. He said, it might be 5 years from now, it might be 10 years from now, but like each individual Bitcoin, it is not insane to think that because of changes that you can see are happening or whatever, that each Bitcoin's gonna be worth, well over like the like that 50,000 mark that we were at. And there's a lot of people that believe that in like 15 years, each Bitcoin's gonna be worth $1 million. And so this is the time. This is the time to get in right now. I mean, like, because it may seem like it's just like he kind of went on, and everybody applauded or whatever. And like the next speaker got up, and it was just like, and it was like they planned it, because the guy got up and he was like, I'm here to tell you that crypto will never, ever, ever hit $1 million. It will never hit $500,000. It will never hit 100. It'll never see $100,000, and it will never ever see the highs that it was at from before. And he said, and the reason for it is, well, he's like, no, I apologize. There is a chance if the United States of America no longer exists, it has a chance. And he was just basically, he's like, the U.S. and he brought up this graph, and I forget what it was, but it's like the U.S. Treasury controls the most powerful economy in the world. And historically, every single time there has been a situation where something would endanger that, would threaten their stature, their hold, the United States would do whatever it would take, to make sure that didn't happen, that to undermine that resources, or undermine whatever it was, so they could maintain their hold on being the most powerful economy in the world. And the moment he said that Bitcoin even threatens to become that powerful or that huge or that amazing, that is when the government will start passing legislation that will tear it down, will make it be regulated, make it be controlled, and devalue it even further. So he said, if you have Bitcoin and it gets back up to it's like he gets even close to sniffing that $50,000 mark again. If you have it, sell it, find a sucker that's willing to buy it, sell it to this guy. He pointed it to it because it will never, ever, ever pay out what you think it's going to pay out. And it was and maybe the guy's wrong, but he was some professor of he had. And whereas the crypto bro had just the line goes up, it's always going to get better. And this guy was like, here, let's look at actual things that have happened. This happened, and they thought they would control a monopoly within the United States government. What did the United States government do? They stepped in, they destroyed the monopoly, and they made this company into 27 different companies. Then they made it owned by it. It's like, well, this happened, and they tried to control it. And then what happened here? And in this country here, they tried to do this. What did they do? We invaded them. We invaded them under false pretense. And installed the government that we wanted in that country, so we could control what was going on. And it was cool. It was interesting to watch. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm off that bandwagon. I'm just holding the bag.
He's just holding the bag
because the bag, it's a lottery ticket. That's it.
He's like them.
Yeah, I could cash out
people.
right now, and I could get a small weekend family vacation out of it.
You should do it. You should do it now while you can still get.
Nope. Nope.
What do you mean, no?
Or I hold on to the bag because I believe the game is good. Because I was addicted to the game. It's a great game. It is fundamentally at its core a great game. And
then why isn't everybody playing it?
Because why isn't everybody playing any game, Lance? They're not going to pay millions of dollars to advertise it,
Well, you know why? Why not? The more people that play it, the better it's going to be, right?
Why doesn't every game do that, Lance?
I'm just saying the reason why is because, like, in general, what you're describing as saying this was a fun game, it was a game that I enjoyed playing. When the game becomes a job, the game loses its fun, and that is shown repeatedly, like over and over and over again. Like people when they said to me, "Oh, you're gonna work on board games, huh? Well, it's gonna be like every day is amazing. You don't have no, not even close. You know, it's like it is. And I don't know. It's
Could be
just,
worse.
What is that going to do with anything, though? Like,
what I
you don't
mean
have.
is
It's not a. It's not a
that
job.
the
it's
reason
a
why
game.
but you're playing it to earn your little tidbits of, I don't even know how you do it, but you're playing it with the idea that you're going to be buying these things that will one day be worth more money, and so you're basically playing it so you can cash out and get a payday. It's you aren't just sitting down to pretend to be a wizard in Hogwarts for a while and just goof around and be a weirdo and run around with a wand. And just because the goal is I want to play something fun where I can turn my brain off and just pretend to be something else. Instead, now it's like I need to do this, and this so I can earn money. Your brain doesn't allow you to like just disconnect and say, I'm just playing this for fun at this point. I'm playing this because it's something that I can do that will financially reward me. That's not make it necessarily bad. It just means it doesn't actually, and this has been shown, it doesn't actually produce, for the most part, there are exceptions. If you're saying you do, that's fine. It doesn't produce the same dopamine responses that brains are looking for when you are doing those games that are just
here's the
literally
thing, though.
for fun.
You don't have to play the game to get passive income from it. You can literally just say, I'm going to take every single card I got due to the quick, because they have a nice user interface and market. You can literally just rent them out. You can make them automatically rent them out and say, all right, I spent $500 on this game. I am no longer interested in it, but I'm going to get, these little bits of crypto that will start adding up. And the cards that I have will also just increase in value in theory, as there's less and less cards since there's a finite amount. You don't actually have to play the game. Like that. So that's one thing where that's what I should be doing. I really should get on there and start renting out all my cards, but I'm lazy. But like, you don't have to play the game. You don't have to grind or anything. You can, and you can earn like some smidgens and this, that. I don't know. I haven't played it in months, so I couldn't tell you, but
it's so much fun.
Well, it was back when I wasn't playing 20 video games a month, because the other thing is, yeah, when it went down, I was like, all right, I'm going to stop putting any money into this. But I also found out that if I just start covering a whole wide variety of video games, like that's an easy way to grow my channel, and it's fun, and it fits into my schedule a lot easier now. Like there's numerous reasons why I quit the game. As I mentioned, I played 20 new games last month. Like it's a lot of damn games. And that's just video games, not even the board games.
Forrest, you don't have to justify yourself to him.
Yeah, Lance makes me feel like it. He makes me feel like I'm some sort of crypto bro still pounding my chest about it. I didn't know what the hell I was getting into when I got into it, and I still don't know what the hell what I'm getting into when I'm not getting out of it. I'm holding.
Typical day with Forrest.
Hey, the only way you're gonna hit a lottery ticket is if you scratch it.
Did you know that like when the lottery hits those, like, you have a 1 in 80 quintillion or whatever ridiculous amount it is, you are like statistically more likely to win if you don't play. Like statisticians can show like the chances of you like stumbling upon a winning ticket, like because somebody fell out of somebody's pocket, or the chances that like a relative won and like gave you all the money or something like that, it's more likely that something like that will happen than you actually buying the ticket to win. It's like a stats fallacy type of situation.
Well, I don't play the lottery that much.
I mean, that can't factually be accurate. If you add the chance of not playing with the chance of playing, it has to be higher than the chance of just not playing.
Because your grandma could still give you all the money when you play. Like it's not like your grandma's not going to give you the money because you played the lottery. I get what
if I
Evan's
was your
saying.
grandma, I wouldn't give you a dime.
Not a dime.
I'm
My
just
grandma
saying,
loves me. My grandma already hooks me and my friends up.
people love to do funny stats
Your
things.
grandma still
and
loves
That
us?
sounds horrible.
Super
Go
misleading.
back. If I could have a button bar, my grandma hooks me and all my friends up.
Okay, that sounds bad. To put some context on that, though,
If you
my
know what I
grandma
mean.
got me a little camper by a lake that cost like $400. I probably talked about it, but it cost about $400 to take my kids to. It's fantastic. Out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. There's like, it's a town of like 100 people. It's just a trailer park. But she gave me my trailer, and then she gave my buddy Jason a trailer where she just bought it from somebody else and just gave it to him. And Adam, well, I think you've met Lance, who I do a lot of stuff with. She gave him a trailer too, because she gave me a new trailer. She's like, "Oh, why don't you just give the old trailer to your friend?" Like, my grandma is, but that's all because I abandoned her for like 12 years. So I get it.
You sound like a wonderful grandson. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I abandoned that old.
Hey. She said, you know what? She thought, you know what? We're not even going to go there. That's a dark
Okay.
path. It's a
I
dark
understand,
path.
I
Why I stopped
understand.
talking to my grandma. She
There's
ruined,
usually a bad. There's usually a bad.
she ruined Christmas when I was like 12 or 13 by pretty much insinuating I was a murderer or covering
Whoa.
for a murderer.
Whoa.
Was she off?
Well, yeah.
I'm messing with you.
No.
I'm messing.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a pretty fucked up thing to say to a 12-year-old.
oh yeah. I mean, I know she lost her daughter, but not cool. Not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all under the bridge, though.
Yeah. People have a hard time dealing with grief.
Yeah.
They deal in it weird ways. Well, what to me seems weird at times. Yeah.
Unsolved murder will do that.
Yeah. I know a guy. His mother was shot at a road rage thing on 95. Just the guy shot and killed her, and they never found him. And the two kids for years and years were very bitter about it, which I can understand. Yeah.
The weirdest thing. So I don't. If anybody know, my mom was murdered when I was 12. The weirdest thing was that I got a really good sense of, God, this is terrible. I got a good sense of closure because even though it's unsolved, I saw who my dad truly was. Like, my dad's in prison right now for being for not good stuff with kids. Like, and he had already been in prison before for like stealing a truck, and he was about to go to prison again for back child support. So it's like, I don't know my dad did it, but it's like,
I got a suspicion.
So it's like, it's unsolved, but at the end of the day, we all just assume it was my dad. So that's a little bit closure, but it's not exactly the same.
Yeah. It's a rough life there for us.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. You were a minor. Who did you go with? Another family member, or?
Oh God. So my dad abandoned me when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Just went and became a truck driver. Just I'd get a Christmas card, $5 in every once in a while, that type of thing. And I've put this all together since I've gotten older. He miraculously popped back into my life when I was like 11 and a half, when he was about to go to prison for back child support, apparently, and was like, yeah, I'll be there. So every other weekends, he bought like this really crappy trailer in like a really bad trailer park where, like, stereotypical, on TV,
Right.
like drugs,
Yeah,
a lot of stuff you don't want to be. And he was completely non-existent. But then again, I broke up his marriage because I was just so bitter and remorseful. So I went and lived with him, and I was the fat kid in the trailer. I had hand-me-down clothes. Like, I got to do a lot of bad stuff.
How has that, I mean, obviously you don't have to talk about the stuff you don't want to, but how has that affected your perception of like who you want to be as a father?
Oh, a lot. I mean,
how has that changed how you treat your kids and stuff?
A lot, just because I remember how it felt, just to like, I remember being, because I was a terrible kid. I was terrible. But I remember just like getting backhanded and stuff, just like getting the snot beat out of me like in ways that like wouldn't leave bruises and whatnot.
Mhm.
And like I remember a lot of stuff my dad would say to me. So yeah, it definitely changed who I am as a dad.
I'm sure it would be. Yeah.
Got to break the chain though. Got to break the chain.
Oh, yeah, man. Wow.
Yeah, I think I think about the violence for the most part it's gone down a lot from one generation to the next. Yeah. The beatings and stuff like that. Yeah.
So,
Well, that's
For
because
for the
everybody's
most part. I mean, they're
everybody's
still out there.
terrified to hit their kids now. Like it's like this weird gray area that it shouldn't be, you know? And it's like, no, you shouldn't feel bad spanking your kids. Like as long as you're not leaving welts or marks. And yes, I know all the studies, all this, all that. I understand. I've read the papers, but from a legal
What
perspective,
papers have you read?
I've read.
Huffington Post.
I was an early childhood education major. Like I read lengthy research papers about spanking your children and what the best form of punishment or discipline or recorrection is, whatever it is. Remember, I used to go to college in the past life. I went to college forever. I was a teacher. God damn it, put some respect on that.
What he said.
No, but I mean, just from a legal perspective, like I like, it's kind of ridiculous.
No, I
People-
get what you're saying.
People worry about it, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I have never met well, I mean, I can't say that. I definitely have met parents who have like, basically like, well, yeah, no, I spanked my kids, and that's why they respect people, and they, it's just like, ugh. And I mean, I don't know. It's an old mentality, right? And just,
I've spanked my
It's-
kids a couple times. I've spanked both of my kids. My 10-year-old, I never had to do it for like most of his life. And then my younger kid had a lot of issues with like just behavioral, just personal space. Just personal space. And my 10-year-old is all about personal space. And then we tried so many things. It was like, all right, if you physically hurt him, like we're gonna spank you, you know? And it's fingers crossed it works. I haven't had to do it in like 6 months, 8 months. Like it was a very special occasion kind of thing. to use
Oh,
a broad phrase.
well, it was a very you used the word.
That's not the right
terminology.
phrasing there.
It was a real
very-
special occasion. My grandma came down. She took
Hold
care
out
of
the
all of us.
champagne.
She hooked us all up.
It had to be like numerous warnings, and there was very clear intent type of thing.
I don't know, man. I mean, I got two good kids who, for the most part, I mean, they'll lie about stupid stuff a lot. Which, I mean, whatever. It's just like, I mean, and like, and my son just says the dumbest things. Like I've told him he loses his AirPod case like all the time, and I'm just like, and his sister's lost hers before. I've had to replace it, and it's just like, or like he lets his AirPod case go through the wash. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, like it's not in, like, thankfully it still works, but I'm just like, you got to take better care of this. And I've told him, I was like, look, he has this mug in his room where his remote control for his TV is supposed to go in. So just put your mug, and I said, we're going to put your AirPod case in there. And then I had to have him, we got so much snow in our backyard because we got another like 6 inches of snow that the dogs were in danger of being able to like climb over the fence. So I was like, I told both my kids, I said, grab a shovel and go out there, and you got to dig down those hills so the dogs can't get out. And they were like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then like my daughter like wasn't responding to me, and I was like, and because she had her freaking AirPods in, and I was like, take stupid things out. You're not gonna wear those when you go shoveling. Why? I was like, because they're white. You're going out stand around in snow. And I was like, get out there and just go out and do what I told you to do.
Wait, you took away her AirPods before you made her shovel? Dude, you should be spanked for that shit. Like,
Really?
oh my
And then I-
gosh.
And then I told
It's a
her,
mortal
I
sin.
told her brother, I said, where are your AirPods? Because he wasn't saying anything. I assumed he had his in. And he's like, they're in my room. And I was like, are they in the case? He's like, yeah, they're in my case. And I said, is your case in your mug? Yeah, it is. So if I go back there and look in there, I'm going to find that AirPod case in your mug.
Mm.
And then he said, no, you won't. I was like, why would you lie? Why would you lie about that? All you had to say was, no, they aren't, but I'll go and put them in there right now. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. It was like, it's like the easiest thing that I can double check and I can realize that you're a freaking liar. You know, and I was just
Kids
like,
lie about the weirdest crap.
and he's just like, and he's like, well, I said, I'll lose them if I put them in that mug. No, well, how? I said, how? If you know that's where they go, how are you gonna lose them? Well, it'll be like the first 5 times I'll forget where I put them. And I was like, well, we're gonna start. It was just like, why am I arguing with you? Why am I arguing with you? Either put them in there or I'm going to take them away from you along with your phone. And then you won't have to worry about losing them because I'll have both of them. Yeah, and he's just like, okay, I'll do it. And it's just like, that's the only thing I think that can intimidate my kids anymore. Well, no, they get scared when they see I'm getting angry. They get scared. I've never raised a hand to either of them, but for whatever reason, I'm the one that they're scared of. Probably because I don't know. I lose my mind. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah.
My 7-year-old had a weird moment today. He when they get home, I have
Did
to
grandma
clean
come over?
So I make my kids clean the room for 5 minutes a day after school. I guess it's just like, it's a thing, just little routine maintenance, and it'll keep your room clean, hopefully forever, just a little bit. And sometimes he really fights me on it. And so what I'll do is I'll just add more time. Like, all right, if you're not going to clean, I'll just add a minute until you get in there, until you clean. And today he got up to 20 minutes. He was extra pissed off about having to put away his laundry for 5 minutes. And eventually he calmed down, he cleaned. I took a little time off for good behavior type of thing, that sort of thing. And then he comes bursting out of his closet like in tears, and he's like, Dad, like here's your Christmas hat. And I was like, oh yeah, like I let you borrow this Christmas hat, like during Christmas time, because it was like wear a hat to school day. He's like, I got toothpaste on it. And I was like, okay, we'll put it through the washer. And he's like, I thought you'd be so mad. And I was like, what? Like, why? And he's like, I don't know. You really like Christmas. And I was like, no, don't worry about it. But it was just so weird that that this had been festering inside of him for months and months. Just because I don't know how the hell he got toothpaste where he got toothpaste. I don't know if he's spitting in the air or something, but it was just like, whatever. And it's so weird. It's so weird, kids, sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And like I said, the reason why kids lie is because they lied to us once and got away with it. And so their brain's like, well, that was way better than getting yelled at for doing wrong things. I should lie more often. And that's just how it works. You just wait there, Evan. Wait for that kid of yours gets a little older.
I know. See how I handle it. We'll find out.
We got a lot of jealousy issues right now. My 7-year-old is jealous of the baby so much.
Oh,
The nearly 1-year-old. Just
I bet.
why does she get special treatment? Because she's 11 months old. You spend all your time with her. That's because if I don't, she will choke on something. Like, come on. She's eating a rock right now, buddy. Like, I have to pay attention to her.
Yeah.
Why are you letting your child eat rocks?
Delicious.
We got plants around the house, and one of them is like some decorative rocks in there, and we didn't realize it until she pulled it over and the rocks went over the floor. I'm like, oh, okay, so no rocks in this, getting rid of this.
Yeah.
Man, being a stay-at-home dad rocks. It is so much fun seeing her develop. It's so good, so much more enriching than like picking my baby up at the end of the day. Like, it's just, you get to see all the developmental milestones and just like, oh my gosh, you did this. You just signed. Thank you. It's like, oh my God, like, this is fantastic. Like, oh, love it. Love it. Highly recommend it to anybody. Stay at home dad it. Try it. It's amazing.
So you're basically stealing all the moments from your wife, and she doesn't get to have them.
We've had that talk. And
Uh,
I feel bad about it, but it's just she's the sugar mama. She just keeps getting like raises, like her work loves her. She doesn't even do her job now. She trains people to do her old job. Like she's on a ladder. And I'm just trying to be the good husband. Like, yeah, I keep the house clean. I'm there when you need me. I love you. Like, what time do you need to go to bed? I get up and with the kids in the morning, get the coffee ready, make sure we're at the door. Like, I have taken to the role because the reward is great. I mean, it's just so fantastic. Just spending all day with my daughter. Just because now to the point where it's just I got this big area where we'll set out the toys, nothing chokeable, nothing like that. And I work on the iPad or whatever for a little bit. And then when she wants attention, she'll come up and she'll just start tugging on me and I'll get down on my knees. We'll start playing. We'll do that for a while, read a couple books, and then just do that all morning. And it's just awesome. I just talk about her all day, but I won't. That's freaking boring.
Yeah, you should do videos of that. You should just do TikTok videos about being a dad.
I actually experimented with that a couple days ago, where I was just like, all right, I don't do TikTok, even though I did do a TikTok today. I can't say that. I did a couple of YouTube shorts that was just like playing with blocks with a baby, because I was like, oh shoot, there's a huge market for this. Because I remember watching these videos when I was in college, because it's like study a video of a baby's doing that. And I was like, I could do that. Just some YouTube shorts of us playing together. So I haven't looked at the subscriber numbers on that, but it got like 600 views or something like that. So I might keep doing that. Problem is, she doesn't act natural around the camera. She just wants to grab the camera, and it's just a hassle. I don't like being on when I'm with her. I don't know. Either way, love having a baby.
Yeah, you should knock your wife up again.
No, we snipped that. I'm good. Nothing else. Our financial situation is going up, and a fourth baby was like the stress is going down. The financial situation's getting better, but a fourth baby, hell no. Like we do not have space for 3 kids. That's the one thing my wife's like, we need a bigger house. I hear it like once a week. I'm just like, I'm just gonna ignore this for the next 8 years, because we got a 10-year-old. I just got to ride this storm out for 8 years. Then in theory, he'll go to college. We have plenty of room.
Kids don't leave for college anymore, though. Have you read the stats on that?
Yeah.
Kids don't leave. I mean, by and large, the vast majority of kids, when they start going to college, if they do go to college, they do it from home.
Well, here's the thing, though. Once he's an adult and he's paying rent, the thing is, we don't have enough space now because I have a 7 and a 10-year-old boy. Like, that's why we don't have space. They can't just stay the hell out of each other's way. We actually have tons of space. We have plenty of space where they could go to, but they both want to be in the exact same spaces all the time. It's like, why are you fighting? Just go somewhere else. Like, Yeah. 7 and 10-year-old at each other's throats. Fun times.
Well, I mean, just put one in the backyard and
on the roof.
but then the other one wants to go to the backyard too.
Hmm.
Either way, we got extracurriculars kicking in now, and that really does help. Like, my son's 2 nights a week, he's gone. We got soccer starting up in a couple weeks. That helps a lot.
well, that sounds amazing. Yeah.
And once we get this big crypto payday, maybe we'll buy a new house.
Yeah.
Helicore bandits going to a nickel.
No.
Do it.
They will. I would wager on that.
Okay, let's wager. You say they're at what, 0.15 cents right now?
They're at 0.17. Thank you.
So that's 0.17 of a penny, correct?
No, I think it's, I don't remember. Let's do a wager another time. I don't want to get back on that browser. We'll do a wager next week or something. I don't want to get back. I gotta enter all the passwords, and the music plays too loud. I want to get back on the website. Plus, I'm trying to work.
Just trying to work.
Just trying to work.
I had a question for you guys. You've
Yeah.
been to speaking panels or been in them. What's the average number of speakers?
I've only been in 2. One of them had 3 speakers and a host, and the other one had 6, I want to say.
That
think-
was-
So
The
that's
fewest
just my
people I've
experience.
seen on a panel is 2. Because I think one person you can't call a panel.
Yeah,
that
that's a
makes
hard
sense.
sell.
Yeah, yeah.
And the largest panel I think is 7 that I've seen.
7.
But I think it's just like whatever makes sense for what you're doing.
I'm curious, like, when's this start to get clumsy? At what number? 6,
gosh.
7, 8.
It probably just depends on the format, really, like how you run it.
Yeah.
If everybody wants to put in 45 minutes, like obviously 7 people's going to be a rough day.
Yeah.
But if everybody's got little 30-second anecdotes, then 7
nah.
people's not a problem.
It wouldn't be that long.
Trying to remember. You had popped up in my YouTube feed and just I ended up watching like it was really ridiculous. Is that as nutball as this sounds, it was old Barney Miller highlights. That was a good little sitcom back in the day.
Bernie Miller, I
The-
never saw
the-
that.
Oh, it was like it was a totally a sitcom from like the late 70s, because it was one of those classic. It was the one room sitcom. Like that was like it basically very rarely, if ever, was anything filmed outside of that one room. Like Welcome Back, Kotter. It was like almost like all of it was within the classroom. You know, I mean, and so like, and Barney Miller was about a police station, and it was a bunch of detectives in a room, and Hal Linden played Captain Barney Miller, and he had an office off to the side that occasionally things would be done in there, but like 90% of it was just the detectives in the room, going about their day-to-day business, working as police detectives, and it was God, what's the guy's name now? I can't remember the one detective. God bless. Well, not Wojciechowicz, but the guy, the egghead, the really smart guy that had like he was super calm all the time, and I can't think of the guy's name. Anyway, I just started watching Barney Miller, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm sitting around watching old Barney Miller reruns. What the hell's wrong with me? Something.
What is wrong with you? I'm actually surprised. I was thinking about this with music. I'm actually surprised he's seen that, because everything we watch now is to some algorithm of what we like. Like if you listen to rock, you won't hear rap or country or something like that. Same with the TV. If you watch, sci-fi, you probably won't get Barney Miller. I'm surprised you actually.
No, like Taxi. Yeah, why I'm sorry, I'm stuck on these sitcoms. Like Taxi was a one room sitcom too. It's just like
For the most part. The Garage. Yeah.
The Garage.
Any word back from the that pilot ever?
No, they needed to do more. Like they were behind on shoot days and need to get funding to do makeup shoots before they can finish the thing. And so who knows?
But it's still a possibility.
Still a possibility.
Still an unscratched lotto ticket? No, it's been
man.
scratched. No, I guess this isn't
No,
a
it's
scratch lotto
unscratched.
ticket.
It's unscratched.
No. That reference doesn't work. This is one of those ones you have to give them the numbers and you wait. I think that reference works better.
Okay. I bought the lotto ticket for sure.
But there we go. Bought the
Purchased
lotto ticket. Waiting for the numbers.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. They never finished it. At least not yet. Not yet.
The pilot.
That's how shows start, man.
I don't know who it was on here that recommended Ozark a couple years back. Might have been Richard, but oh my god, thank you so much. It is. I think it might be the best TV I've ever seen in my life, and I mean, it's up there with Lost. It's up there with the first season of Heroes, and like some of the
What
other
show is this?
Ozark with Jason Bateman.
Oh yeah, great ending too.
Oh my gosh, we're at season 2, and we're just me and my wife pretty much every night where she's not too tired. It's just we're oh, so good. Just the. I just pinpoint, like, I love shows that have really, really interesting characters and just seeing how they just rub those characters together. And this show does it so stinking well.
I don't know. I don't want to spoil the ending, but it had a great ending. It like literally it was
Say
one of those
no
things where
more.
it's like, no, it was literally one of those things like, how are they going to end this? And I was like, there's all these different things that you had rolling around in your brain of how they would end it. And like literally it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, and then they ended it and you're just like, that was the perfect ending. And I dug it. It was just I appreciated it.
This show is single-handedly like raising Jason Bateman into like my top like 20 actors territory, where it's like I need to go back and I want to watch
Oh, really?
a bunch of his other stuff. Like he's just so damn good in it. Everybody is his wife, like his kid, like everybody. Woo. On Netflix. Well, worth a watch.
How about that first season? The ending of the first season.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Only you, Marty, could get me in business with a bunch of whatever it was,
Bunch of rednecks.
bunch of rednecks out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that was like yeah.
What was that?
So there's no more talk. It's
Just
too good. It's too good.
what was that you said? I said. Like, yeah, and oh man, I mean, I'll be interesting. I'll be interesting to listen to you talk about it because man, that show takes some really twisted turns.
Yeah. There's
you haven't seen.
you haven't.
You haven't even seen.
My wife
You
almost
got a couple
quit.
more seasons.
There's a season, my wife almost quit. Like there was a moment. My wife cannot watch a show where babies get hurt. Where babies get like she's immediately she taps out. She's done. Like she would walk out of a movie theater type of thing.
Yeah.
And so, like there's an episode where a baby nearly drowns, and like I'm like we're both like I'm trying to be like, oh no, it's just a baptism. Like, the baby's not gonna die. And like I wasn't sure because and like after the episode, I was like, we were gonna be done with this show if that baby died. She's like, yeah, we would. And it's like, you love this show, right? And she's like, yep. And it's like that's like my wife has a hard line. So I was very relieved when the baby did not die. But so yeah, I can only imagine what kind of twists they do. I mean, it seems like there's no area that is taboo, which I love when a show's willing to go that hard, especially when they tackle it in a real way. Like I knew families that remind me of Boyd and like them. Like I appreciate the writing.
The Ridding.
The reading.
Is the W silent now? Did we vote on this?
I think
I'm
so.
down. Wait, the W already is silent.
Yeah, well done.
I mean, is it a
What
low eye
did
versus
what did George Carlin say when it's time for us to realize that the people that preach about us focusing on the 3 R's need to realize that 2 of them don't start with an R. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. But yeah, no, it's I don't know. It's good old Carl.
Good.
Oh.
Keep going.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I'm annoyed you didn't show up earlier, Evan. You haven't been here for You haven't been here
Initials.
for good initials for a while
I
now.
don't know. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're
I
not.
won.
I'm sorry.
Welcome, you
man.
weren't here.
Yeah, Forrest.
did?
Forrest showed up late and won.
Wow.
Boom.
He missed
I'm
the
s-
first two.
I'm bummed I missed it.
Yeah,
Time for
so, I
taking
mean,
you down.
All
Perhaps.
talk. Show up once in a while. We'll see.
yeah, but all right. Well, we'll be back next week to do more of this stuff. I look forward to. I love how you're like, hey, we got to make sure we go out to dinner this night at Origins, and I'm like, dude, I don't even plan what I'm doing tomorrow, and you're like, this Thursday at Origins, we're gonna go and we're gonna grab food.
I did not
here,"
give a
and
date. I didn't give
Yeah.
a date.
it's just like,
And besides, I'm flaky as hell. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just super
we
busy.
know
Like,
that.
there's a billion things to do. There's a billion things to do at conventions.
It's true.
Really?
There's always another game to play and a video to make about that game, and hope that game is super popular.
Yeah, I don't have to think about all that anymore.
yeah, I know, Evan, I don't know, where we're gonna go eat.
I don't know yet, man. Got to figure it out.
What are you in the mood for 6 months in advance, Evan?
Yeah. I know. Oh, what are we gonna want Thursday night in June?
There's the dive bar. The dive bar with the delicious. They have fantastic food specials. That's like 2 blocks away. I think it's Brothers or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah,
That
I heard about
place.
that one.
They got
I
wing
do
night.
remember that barbecue place we went to wasn't bad.
That was good. Oh
I love
yeah.
how they just gave us the loaf of Wonder Bread. Here, you'll need this.
Loaf of Wonder
Wait, was that in Columbus?
Was that in Columbus or
I
was
thought
that
that was in Texas.
It's probably Texas. It sounds like that. What was that? Hard Eight or
I thought that was Dallas. Yeah, I'm wrong.
For some reason, I think it's Columbus because we went and then we went to go check out that board game store.
Yeah, the little board game store right next door. Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Columbus.
Mhm.
That was Columbus. Oh, okay. All right.
I remember because that was when you were staying with was that Dallas?
That's what I
It wasn't
just said.
Dallas. That wasn't. No, I'm pretty sure it was in Dallas. Like I said,
Yeah.
like you said, yeah.
I see.
you know,
Mhm.
was it in Dallas? Was that when you were staying with?
Yeah, I stayed in the place, and Roy was there.
Yeah, that might be it.
No, that was Dallas, man. That was Dallas.
I just for some
was-
reason don't think it
that
was
was-
Dallas.
That was
I don't know.
BGG. Mhm. Roy was staying in the Airbnb. We played some Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, Shane was pissed off because I had like it was like the third time I'd ever played Magic the Gathering and I beat him.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was brilliant.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I guess my cards just don't work." Or something. I don't know what's going on. He was like talking about like the best part was I was like, okay, cool. So we just each play each other once and it's round robin. Yeah, that's what it is. And then he was talking about, oh yeah, I mean, he's like, I'll tell you how to play. I used to play this professionally. I want to like this tournament and that tournament, and I used to do this and blah blah blah. I was like, okay, cool.
And you're like, oh, is this card good? Oh, did I win?
Yeah, I mean, and everybody was drafting the cards, and I was like, well, this one's green. I'll take that one. That matches my other green card I got.
Who did it win in that? I think it was either me or Roy. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was. I just beat Shane. And that made me happy. His blue deck couldn't get going. He's like, well, it's just because my blue deck I couldn't get it going, And I was like, all right, whatever. Okay, cool.
So what you're saying is I won.
Yes. But all right, everybody. Well,
All right.
have a good night. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. I don't know. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other.
Go check out
Mhm.
Mighty Doom. It's a fun little iOS game.
You give me that. You give me that code. You give me that code for Dredge.
I actually checked. I am awaiting a code for Dredge on one of my sites. So
All
I
right,
don't know if I'm gonna
make sure it's a Steam code. I don't want to play no fucking.
I don't.
Switch.
What? I don't do. No, it's not on Steam. It's on Switch or Xbox.
I don't have an Xbox. That ain't gonna help me.
Well, you can watch my 1 hour review then. I'll send you a link. let you know how it was for the first hour.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Is that it? Is that it? Are we done?
All right.